And now the next case.
All parties on Caldwell versus Madrid. Step forward.
24-year-old clerk Mary Caldwell is suing her ex-girlfriend, 24-year-old plumber Janet Madrid, for an unpaid loan to buy a car.
Miss Caldwell, you and the defendant were living together. You were in a relationship when you claim you made a loan to her to purchase a car for the down payment. Is that right?
Correct.
And according to you, the car down payment was $2,500. She made one payment of $200 to you and has failed to pay the rest. You want your money back?
Yes, correct.
Defendant says there was never a loan. When was the car purchased?
July of 2000.
How long had you been living together prior to that?
Over a year?
Now, as part of the defendant's response to your complaint, she says that a year before that, you had wanted to purchase a car, and she sold a couple of motorcycles that she had. Is that right?
Yes.
And gave you the money to put down on a car that you wanted to buy. Is that true?
Yes.
How much did she give you?
I don't have an amount for you, I'm sorry.
Did you ever pay her back?
No.
You are living together at this time in a relationship as a family. Is that right?
Correct, at the time.
And am I also correct that this car that she purchased was put in both of your names?
Correct. For the reason that she didn't have a driver's license, she was unable to drive.
All right. Now tell me the circumstances surrounding this alleged loan, Miss Caldwell.
We were in a relationship. It was falling out at the time, but she asked me to loan her the money, in which I
What
loaned
did she
her.
say?
She said, I want to get a car. And I told her, okay, that's fine. I had the money on me. I said, well, it needs to be a loan. Do you understand that? And she said, yes. At that time, we went shopping around for a car. She chose the vehicle that she wanted. I made the down payment on it. She told me that she was going to pay me back. It was a verbal agreement between the both of us.
That sounds all pretty pat. All right, Miss Madrid, let me hear your version of it.
I never told her that I want to borrow the
No,
money.
I want you to tell me step by step. Don't tell me what you never told her.
We both said that we need a car.
Why? You already had a car.
No, because the car that she bought before this car had got repoed because she couldn't make the car payment on it.
Oh, you didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me that.
Sorry.
When had it gotten repossessed?
Maybe about 2 to 3 months before we bought this other car. And I was paying the last couple payments on that car because she couldn't pay for it. She lost her job. And so I said, I want to go get a car. And she's like, okay, yeah, we do need a car. And she had just got a settlement from an accident. And she's like, well, I have the down payment for the car. And I was like, okay, fine. I thought it was just like me giving her the down payment for her car. I thought it was an even swap.
Well, even swap. You said you gave her $800. This is $2,500.
Yeah, well, our whole relationship, you know, she never paid bills. I paid all the bills. She never paid rent, nothing. I supported her.
Your
She
Honor.
didn't have a job. She didn't have a job. Anytime she needed money, okay, here, Mary, here's some money. So I took the loan out on the car to finance the rest of the car, and I've been paying on it ever since.
You did? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In February of 2001, you gave her $200. What was that for?
It was probably for insurance or something,
Your Honor, that is not true.
because insurance was in her name.
Yes, the insurance was under my name because she didn't have a license. How was the insurance going to be under her name if she didn't
I
have a license?
asked you a question.
Yes.
Do you work?
Yes, I do.
What kind of work do you do?
I do clerical
Where? For whom?
for a hospital.
Which hospital?
It's actually called Medical Group.
How long have you been working there?
About 5 months.
Prior to that, where were you working?
Prior to that, I was working at a temporary agency.
So you weren't working regularly prior to that?
Correct.
Okay. Tell me about this alleged $200 payment.
When she was kicking me out of the house, she told me that she wanted all my stuff out of the house. I said, okay, that's fine. I'm moving all my stuff out of the house. She
What
told
day
me
was that?
maybe February, in the middle of February. So right around our supposedly anniversary is when it happened.
Well, tell me about it.
I asked her for money to give me some kind of repayment on the loan. She told me, okay, here's $200. She wrote me a check.
You have a copy of that check? Mm-hmm. Can I see it? Looks like she gave you money pretty regularly. What'd she give you money for pretty regularly?
Mainly to pay the bills.
No, she's got things here for the gas company. Pacific Bell? Here's one for $100 to you. On the bottom it says Janet's stuff. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Mary Caldwell, that's you, another $100. Mary Caldwell, $160. What kind of work do you do?
I'm a plumber.
Work full-time?
Yes.
All right, Miss Caldwell, let me tell you what I think, madam. What I think is that the two of you were living in a relationship as a family. And when the year before you wanted to buy a car, she gave you some money. And when the following year she wanted to buy a car and you had some extra money, you said, I'll put down the down payment, you make the payments, because you weren't working. You were working as a temp. And you were all living as a family. And now that you're not living as a family anymore, you say this was a loan. I don't believe you. Your case is dismissed.
Yeah, this is case number 191 on the calendar, the matter of Burke versus Martins.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Burke, according to your complaint, in July of this year,
yes,
you moved in with the defendant, signing a 6-month lease with her.
Correct.
As a roommate.
Correct.
It was not a match made in heaven.
No.
It is your claim that 3 weeks later she forcibly evicted you from the premises. You are suing her for the expenses that you incurred as a result of that move.
Correct.
Okay. The defendant is counterclaiming, claiming that you breached your lease with her, you had no basis to move, and she claims that you did certain damage to the premises. Is that right?
Correct.
How did you find this roommate situation, Ms. Burke?
I have a copy of her ad in Roommate Finders. It's a roommate service, and I went through that service.
Did you find it online? Is that what you
Yes.
did? Okay. So when did you move in?
On July 25th.
And did you pay August's rent,
Yes, I did.
which was $800?
Yes, I have a copy of all of my canceled checks.
I don't think that she denies that.
No,
And you
I don't.
paid an additional $400?
Yes, I did.
Is that right?
Yes.
All right, so what caused you to move?
Well, when I moved in, and actually when I came to look at the place, Miss Martinson informed me that she was a massage therapist and that she worked from her home. I wanted to know what kind of massage she performed, and I asked her specifically, is it like sports injury massage? And she said, oh yeah, that's basically what I do. And I said, well, what hours do you perform massage out of the house? And she told me it was strictly during the day. And I was fine with that. She was what I thought was a struggling mother who just had a child, and anyway, I don't want to ramble. Anyway, 2 nights after I moved in, I was walking from my bedroom to the kitchen, and in the living room were 2 naked people. The naked man was lying on his back on the massage table, and the naked woman, not Mrs. Martins, was massaging the naked man in the portion of his body that should be covered by a towel.
Your Honor, this is not true.
Just a minute. Go ahead.
It is true. I informed Miss Martins what I had seen, and she told me that she didn't know what was going on, and that she was very upset with her friend, and that she would take care of it, and that wouldn't happen again.
Someone else worked out of your house as well?
No, I had a girlfriend. She was there. She's here in the building, and she would like to testify, just not on camera. She will testify that that is an incorrect statement.
Was she using your house at any time to give massages, whatever kind of massages they were?
She was spending the night, her and her boyfriend. What they were doing that night, I don't know.
She was, according to her, giving him a great massage.
A couple nights later, I walked out, and the same naked woman was there with a different naked man. This time she was crawling on top of the naked man.
In the living room?
Yes. And
Go
I
ahead.
informed Mrs. Martinson again. She promised again it wouldn't happen. I just wanted to believe that it wouldn't happen again. But it continued to happen. As a matter of fact, it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon this time, and her friend had come over with this third, different man, and they had gone into the back bedroom. And when I asked Rebecca about it, she stated that she didn't think that there was anything wrong with it, and that I told her that from what I had witnessed, it was basically prostitution in my definition, and that I'd worked far too hard for my goals. I'm also a full-time student, that I wasn't going to let what she was doing put me at risk because of these strange men coming in the house.
This was after about a week?
That was about
Went to
2
this-
weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Okay, so you had this confrontation with her after 2 weeks, and
Yes.
whether she was correct as to what she saw, accurate as to what she's
It's not
reporting.
accurate.
Just listen to me. You didn't let me finish.
Sorry.
Whether she is correct or she is incorrect about what she saw, you did have this discussion with her during this first and second week of her tenancy.
It was after the first week.
So whether it's right or it's wrong, this is what she reported to you and complained about. Is that right?
Half of it.
Fine.
Not
Even if it's
entirely.
half. I don't care which half. The bottom half or the top half. It doesn't make any difference. It's half.
Okay.
Okay. So what happened? So now you're in the second week.
Right.
Go ahead.
I had finals coming up in a week, so I knew that I had to concentrate on finals, so I basically needed to deal with this afterwards. Did my studying mostly from my office, sometimes picked up the dogs and took them to the dog park and studied there, anything to keep from going home because of what was going on at the house. I didn't want to go home. After I finished my finals on August 12th, I got home at about 3:30 in the afternoon, and I went back, and my dog was out there with a muzzle on his nose. It was about 100 degrees out in the valley on that day, and he was sick and lethargic. I threw him in the pool and brought him inside to bring his body temperature down, and called the emergency vet.
Because he couldn't pant.
He couldn't pant, he couldn't drink. And I called the emergency vets, and they told me just to monitor him. And he got better, so I didn't end up taking him to the vet. But they did tell me that if he had been there longer, he would have
Don't tell me
died.
what they told you. Muzzle was tight on his face. Couldn't pant, which means you can't get rid of the heat.
Right.
Couldn't drink. Okay. Did you discuss that with her?
Yes, I was actually very upset when it happened, but I realized by the time she got home about 4 hours later, I didn't want any kind of confrontation, so I just calmly said, please don't do this. You know, it put him at danger, and I don't want to, you know, he could have died.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tara Burke claims former roommate Rebecca Martins forced her to move. Tara says Rebecca is running an illegal massage business.
So what happened next?
I basically stayed in my room that night. The next day I went to work. It wasn't until 2 nights later. Miss Martinson was getting ready for bed, and I informed her that I didn't think the situation was going to work out and gave her my notice.
Okay.
The next night I got home at about 8 o'clock, and Miss Martins was in a rage. And she asked me if I'd found a place yet. And I told her, no, of course I hadn't. We had just spoken about it the night before. And at that point, she started screaming at me and, you know, saying that I used the house as a hotel and I've been gone all day. And I said, I have a job. Of course I've been gone all day. And she said, well, you're off at 3. You know, it's 8 o'clock. Where have you been all this time? And I was actually shocked that she would even be questioning me on that. She's just a roommate. So basically, she started getting more and more aggravated and informed me that if I left for work the next morning, she was going to throw my belongings out on the lawn and change the locks. At which point I told her that she couldn't do that, that wasn't legal. And she started, you know, saying, well, you can sue me, but that won't do you any good. And I said, well, you're out of control. And I reached for the phone to grab 911, and she came after me. No. So I ran out the side door of the house, and I ran to the neighbor's house and called 911 and waited at the neighbor's house for the police to show up. The police showed up, and they spoke to each one of us separately. They came out and told me that it was illegal for her to do that, and if she were to try to do that, that I should call them back, and they would come back and arrest her, and that I should try to get out as quickly as possible, and I told them that I would.
So you moved out the next day?
Yes. And the entire time I was moving out, she was behind me screaming and threatening me. And
okay, so you moved out on the 16th?
Correct.
Okay. Now let's hear your version.
Okay, it's really not quite what she said.
Just tell me your version, I'll decide.
She comes to visit on my ad. I liked her, I let her move in. Everything was okay. She paid me the money. The dogs came after, about 3 days later, and they were a problem from the onset.
But she told you she had dogs before.
Right, but she also told me it was a 7-year-old Rottweiler, and it was a 2-year-old lab that was very well behaved. They were not. The 7-year-old was in heat, and the male was very aggressive. I have pictures of where he bit my dog. He bit my dog 3 times, and that is the reason the muzzle was put on. And she was the one that told me, if they get out of hand, put the muzzle on it, it's in the garage. So that is why I did that after my dog was bitten. And the reason why I had the fight with her at all was because she wasn't looking after her dogs. They had escaped from the yard twice. I have a witness here to testify that they ended up down the block twice. And so she brought me into it saying I had to go look for the dogs.
So let's go back to the 14th of August, a couple of days before she moved out.
Actually, we need to go back up to the first week. After the first week, she got upset because of having a friend over, and she said she saw what she saw. I never saw it, denied it.
That's incorrect.
So that day, she said, I can't handle this. I'm giving you my 2-week notice.
Okay.
So then on the 14th,
Your Honor,
she reiterated to me that she was moving out at the same point that we fought over the dogs. I said, your dog's in heat. the male dog is beating up my dog. You need to separate
Okay.
them. And then she did. She put them a few days earlier in the dog run, but then there's no shade there. So I had to keep giving them buckets of water. I had to keep hosing them down. Meanwhile, I have a sick baby in the house.
Okay,
And so it was
so
an
now we're at the
inconvenience to
14th
me.
and 15th. Go ahead.
Right. And so I told her, I said, you're not looking after your animals. I'm not looking after them tomorrow. I said, I am not looking after your pets one more day. This is not a daycare for animals. It's not included with the rent.
Okay.
So she got all mad at me. She grabbed my phone. She ran to her room. Of course, I followed her because she had my phone in her hand. I didn't agree to let her use my phone. And so she goes, I'm calling 911. I'm like, for what? And so she exited out the side door of her room, and she went outside because I unplugged the phone in the living room so she couldn't use the phone.
Why did you do that?
Because she grabbed my phone. She didn't have permission to use it.
Well, you knew she was calling the police.
She said she was. I didn't know what she was
Well,
going
what
to
did
do.
she think who did she think she was going to call?
I don't know. I wasn't really sure, but I didn't want her using my phone.
Go ahead.
So I unplugged it, and so she couldn't use it. So then I guess she went to the neighbors.
Right.
Police
She called
came.
the police.
Right.
Police told you couldn't evict her.
And I said, well, she gave her 2-week notice, and it's up tomorrow.
But she's already paid up till the end of the month.
She gave her 2-week notice.
She paid up till the end of the month.
Okay, well, if I had someone else that wanted to move in because she had given her notice.
Okay, so she moved out the next day.
She moved her dogs at 9 in the morning, and I thought, great, the dogs are gone. Then she came back a couple hours, and after her and her friend had berated me, and that's why the police were called again that day, and they came to keep the peace. So the police were there the day she moved out.
Good.
With her truck, and upon leaving, she decided to vandalize my car. I have pictures here. She scratched to 3-foot scratch across my brand new car.
Who saw her? Who saw her do that?
The neighbor across the street.
Where's the neighbor?
They didn't want to be on camera.
Everybody doesn't want to be on camera. You must have people who are wanted for something. Let me explain something to you. I take testimony.
Right.
I'll hear a witness.
Yes, there is a witness here.
Who?
Carrie is a neighbor down the block that testified to her dogs being out.
I'm not interested in the dogs being out. I'm interested in vandalizing your car.
Oh, this is the picture.
I'm not interested in the picture. I'm interested in somebody who saw her vandalize your car.
Well, I didn't see her actually do it.
Fine.
But
Let's
she
move
was
on.
standing next to the car.
Let's move on. I'm going to deal with your counterclaim first.
Right.
Damage to the car I've dealt with. I don't have anybody who saw her do it. What about a fence?
Yes. The fence was destroyed by her dogs.
Let me see. Did your dogs do this?
I have no idea. This is the first I've heard of it. She has a dog as well, so I don't know whether mine
How
did
did
or-
they do this to the fence?
The Rottweiler dug under the fence, and the lab started chewing on the fence and ripped it off. I made a police report the day that the police came to keep the peace, and they saw it, and they made a note of it in the
Your
report.
Honor, I'm the one who called the
just,
police.
just a second.
No, you didn't.
Just a second. You have a police report?
I
About this fence?
called the police
Do you
that
have a police
day.
report about the fence?
They didn't say it in there, but they wanted to know about the car incident as well.
I don't know about the car. I'm talking about the fence.
It doesn't say anything about the fence, but it
Fine.
shows an investigation.
Fine. I want to know about the fence.
Right.
You said
this is the whole incident.
Is there anything in there about the fence? The answer
It
is
doesn't
yes
say the
or
word
no.
fence.
Now, reimbursements of cleaning costs. What are the cleaning costs?
Yes, $70 per hour, 2-hour minimum.
For what?
For cleaning up the state of the room that she left it. I have pictures of the way she left the room.
Can I see it, please?
You have to look closely on the floor. There's about 1 inch thick of dog hair.
This is the room the way she left it?
On the floor, yeah.
It's pretty clean to me. Next.
There's dog hair on. No, look on the floor.
I'm looking at the floor.
Okay, and the
Looks pretty clean to you?
Looks clean to me.
Next. What else?
Okay.
Defamation of character and miscellaneous expenses.
Right, the biting of my dog
Forget it.
was a show dog.
Okay, good.
Okay. The dog.
Miss Martins, I'm not going to torture you anymore. Let me give it to you as I see it, madam.
Okay.
The plaintiff wanted a roommate.
Yes.
She wanted to live with someone. She answered your ad.
Yes.
In good faith, she came. You asked her for $400 security.
Yes.
She gave you $400 security.
Yes.
She agreed to move in. She moved in on or about the 25th of July. She paid you the entire amount of rent
Yes.
so that she was all paid up through the end of August. She was so uncomfortable with the situation there that she saw, so uncomfortable that according to you, she was so upset that your friend was doing business out of your house that after 1 week, she said, I can't stay here anymore. You know, this is not good for me. You know, I'm not going to jeopardize my life by staying here. We'll have a police raid here, and I'm going to get caught in the middle of this thing. So, according to you, after 1 week, she said, I'm moving.
Right.
Now, she's all paid up till the end of August. You can't throw her out.
I didn't throw her. I just wanted her dogs to behave.
But how did you expect to do that?
She bought a barking collars for them, but she didn't put the batteries in. She refused to put batteries in.
So my question to you is, you were both unhappy with this arrangement.
Yes.
Clearly, she was unhappy with the kind of business being conducted out of your home, and you were unhappy with her barking dogs. So clearly this was a situation that should just go away by her moving out. Right?
Yes.
Perfect. What monies do you think you are owed? Listen to me carefully, because her counterclaim is gone. I'm dismissing it. She has no counterclaim.
Right.
But what about her scratching my car? I mean, that's a $400 damage.
I don't believe she did it.
I didn't.
Since I don't believe very much else of what you tell me, Miss Martins, I don't believe that she scratched your car.
She scratched my car.
Okay, good. Where did you go after you left her house?
A good friend of mine, when he actually heard what was happening in the house, had been telling me, get out, I have a three-bedroom house, you can stay with me. I felt my duty as a tenant was to give notice, so I didn't, okay.
Just answer my question.
My friend's house.
Are you still there?
No, I found a place.
You found a place in a roommate situation?
Very nice roommate, though.
Okay.
And she has a normal job.
Your Honor, was not working out of my house. She was there with a boyfriend. I mean, you're claiming that she was working out of my house. She's not at work. She's a flight attendant.
Let me tell you this. Whatever she was doing in your house when you weren't there,
I was
according
there.
to you, listen to me. You're not getting it. Are you thick? I tried to explain it. I will do it one more time. She came, she gave you money. According to you, she gave you notice within 1 week that because of the things that she was observing in your house and she was so distressed, she was giving you notice. That's according to you.
Well, she could see
now, just
through
a second.
walls?
Just a second. What I'm telling you is, based upon what you told me, after 1 week of living in your house.
She was complaining, yes. No, is very attractive and very thin, and she was calling her a crack because of her thinness and her wanting to swim in my pool naked.
Miss Martins, there is no question in my mind that the
She was
plaintiff...
jealous of her.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,100. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Your Honor, this is case number 356 on the calendar in the matter of Koch versus Ringenberg, Buban, Fagan. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Which one of you gentlemen is Brad? All right. So what I want you to do is stand right over there. That's it. Now, Miss Koch, according to what I read, you had a friend, Kathy. Is Kathy here? You are his mother.
Correct.
Brad's mother. Kathy was visiting you at your house, and she at some point wanted to go home and check on her kids. So you said she could borrow your car to do that, as long as she brought it right back. Correct?
Correct.
Kathy goes home, and she decides to let her son drive the car back to your house. So far, that's what you did. You let your son drive the car back to her house.
To pick up my car.
I don't care what it was.
Not to check on my kids. To get my car so I could have it back at her house.
Whatever. You let your son drive the car back to her house. Is that right?
To follow me, to have my car.
Whatever. He could have followed your car. He could have been driving
He did.
your car.
He did.
So who was driving her car?
He did. I was in my car. He drove her car, followed me back to her
Did you
house.
understand what I said? Try to pay attention. I said you could have let him be the driver of your car and you drove her car back. But you didn't do that. You let him drive her car. Is that right?
Correct.
Now, at some point, he decides to stop off and pick up a couple of friends. Is that right, Brad?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
And there goes the trouble. Because by the time your car was returned to you, much later on, it was totally undrivable. Had blown a transmission, and some other stuff happened to the car. There's where we are. And I want you gentlemen now to be very, very brief, because I've read all of your answers. Not to worry, Ms. Koch, we're going to get to you. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe it's necessary and maybe it won't be necessary. Okay. Because, you know, my credo is keep it simple, stupid. That's what my father always said to me. So I'm going to try to keep this as simple for myself as possible. In 30 seconds or less, you tell me how her car ended up in the junk pile.
I went and picked him up and we went back to her house.
Went back to whose house?
Connie's house.
All right, so you went back to her house, but you had stopped off to pick up these two gentlemen.
Yes, Your Honor.
Where was your mother?
She was at home.
Your mother was home. That's interesting. I thought she said she was in her car. All right, but we'll let that pass for a moment. So you stop off to pick up the two guys. And what happens after you pick up the two guys?
We went to Connie's house and I took the keys inside.
Look at me.
I took the keys inside and I put it on the table right in front of her.
And then what were you going to do?
And I went back outside and we were stuck there.
What do you mean we were stuck there? What did that mean, you were stuck there?
We didn't have a ride nowhere.
Well, didn't you realize that once you drove the car back to Connie's house, you weren't going to have a ride anywhere unless, of course, your mother, who says she was following you.
I thought my mother was there, but she went home.
But she went home. She was just driving around. Maybe she had to mail a letter or something. Yeah. Go ahead. So now you're standing outside and you have no ride home. What's next? Look at me.
Matt went inside.
Matt, raise your hand. Matt went inside.
And he said he was going to ask for the keys.
Who did you ask for the keys?
Connie, but she was sleeping, so I just...
Oh, now, so you asked her, but she was sleeping. Yeah. Now, I want you to explain to me how you... Please don't laugh at him. Bird's going to laugh at him. So you were going to ask Connie for the keys, and you asked her for the keys, but she was sleeping.
Yes.
So what did you do? Did you do telepathy?
I just grabbed them and went outside.
So you had no permission to have the car. Is that right? Now, when you got outside, what did you say to your two friends?
Let's go to Polk City and...
Excuse me?
I asked Brad to go drop me and Luke off in Polk City and go back out there, but...
But what?
We ended up staying at my house for a while. And
who?
Us three.
How long?
An hour, maybe.
And then what happened?
Me and Luke drove around for a little bit, got some gas, and the car stalled.
Okay, where'd you leave him?
My house with a few other friends.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, let's understand this. You had no permission to have the car, is that right? Is that right?
Yes.
And you had no permission to be in the car, is that right? After you had dropped it off?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what about you?
No.
No what?
No, I didn't have permission to be in the car.
Who was driving?
Matt.
Did you ever drive the car?
No, Your Honor.
Now, did Matt tell you that he didn't have permission to have the car?
He told me we did have permission.
He did?
Yes.
What did he say to you?
Well, me and Brad were sitting outside of Connie's house, and he went inside and got the keys and comes out and says that, you know, let's go. And he didn't say that he had permission, but, you know, he said, let's go. And
oh, so he didn't say he had permission. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You knew. Now, tell me about your car. What happened to it? They just say it stopped.
It was 70 miles away when the transmission blew from my home.
70 miles?
And then I came back home and I went file a police report. And they...
Just tell me what the damage was to the car. That's my question.
Well, my damages are $3,490. There's a towing charge, there's attorney fees, and unused insurance, but...
I just want to see what the damage was to the car.
The matter is all I need.
How old are you?
16.
You're 16. Oh, how old are you?
17.
And you?
16.
16. Oh, this makes my life so much easier.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You listen to me.
Her keys were put on that table.
No, listen
Somebody
to me.
came in that house.
Oh, yeah.
Those keys came back
Madam,
on that counter.
You are a liar.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Connie Coates says teenagers Brad Buban, Matt Regensburg, and Luke Fagan drove her car without permission. Connie says the boys damaged the transmission, then abandoned it 70 miles away.
You know, I like to keep things simple. I want you to move over there. I'd like you to step up here. Your name is Kathy what?
Boobin.
Step up here. Let her stand next to her prize. Son says that you didn't follow him to her house so that you could give him a ride back. And I believe him, because that's what they say. Why didn't you do that?
I just picked up my car so I could leave Connie's when I felt when I was wanting to go home.
Well, just 1 second, madam. She didn't give your son permission to drive her car.
She gave both of us.
No. She did not. No, she did not.
Back.
Excuse me?
Someone's got to drive my car, which is me.
No, not you, which is him. Don't you get it? That's what I said to you before. If somebody's going to drive a car that doesn't belong to them, it's going to be you, not him. So he drives your car, and you drive her car.
That's probably how it should have been done.
Right. Because but for that, this whole thing wouldn't have happened. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, everybody knows 16-year-old boys and cars don't mix. They're fools. And when they have friends, they're bigger fools. Now, you should have anticipated that. You didn't. Therefore, I am not holding these two boys' parents responsible. I'm holding you responsible for the whole thing. Because I'm holding him responsible for the whole thing. You want to go after them? Sue him. If you came before me, you'd be totally unsuccessful. But for your actions, you're the adult. He never would have had his hands on the keys to her car. You got it? Now, if the boys had gone into her house and you had nothing to do with that, and each one of the boys told me the same story, he got the keys, he drove the car with them, he was also a passenger who knew what was going on, and you had nothing to do with it, all three of you would be equally responsible. But in this case, you were the one who controlled the keys to that car. If you had done the right thing and said, follow me back, I'm taking Connie's car, you drive my car, when we get to Connie's house, going inside, I'll be right out. You put Connie's keys someplace where Connie can get her keys if she's sleeping, you come outside, you say, now drive me home.
That's what happened.
No, it's not what happened. You were not driving Connie's car.
He put him on the table.
You listen to me. You were not driving Connie's car back to her house. He was. He should have been driving your car, not Connie's car. You want to give a 16-year-old permission to drive a car and to pick up friends? Let it be your car, not your friend's car. She was doing you a service. Judgment for the plaintiff against this defendant only in the amount of $3,000. And if you think you can prove a case against the parents of these two boys, you go ahead and try. You will be unsuccessful here because you had the ability, you're the adult, you had the ability to ensure that her car got home safely, and you chose not to do that. These parents didn't. They had no idea what was going on. Only you did.
Her keys were left on her counter.
Only you did. You had the ability to see to it that her car was returned to her house safely.
It was returned in her driveway.
No, it wasn't.
And her keys were put on that table.
No, listen to me.
Somebody came in that house and took those keys off that table.
Put that down. You can tell me anything that you like, and I'm telling you, you had the responsibility to see to it that yours...
And it came back. Those keys came back on that counter.
Madam, you are a liar. Your son says you are a liar. I believe you're a liar. Your son just told me you're a liar. He just told me that you never followed him back to her house to drive him home because they were there stranded. And you said, I followed him back there, which is a lot of baloney. So you're a liar, you're responsible. Judgment for the plaintiff against this defendant only, $3,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm not a liar.
All I know is my police report says that Kathy admitted to knowing that they were taking the vehicle.
It put a strain on Connie because she was without a car.
I'm still without a vehicle.
I carted her around. I tried to be very helpful.
I've gotten nowhere. They were said, please don't press charges. We'll get it fixed. We'll get it fixed.
I was a good neighbor. She's been a good neighbor. It's what neighbors are supposed to do.
Goodbye.
Your Honor, this is case number 220 on the calendar in the matter of Akins versus Jenkins. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Mr. Akins, according to your complaint, you and the defendant lived together for about a year and a half.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. We lived together like 6 months.
You were together for a year and a half.
Yes, Your Honor.
Of that year and a half relationship, 6 months was spent living together.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then things didn't work out. You broke up, and you said that you had an agreement with the defendant that she had owed you some money and you would owed her some money, and you decided to leave some of your things there and to forgive certain other things that she had damaged of yours, and she would forgive all the bills that you owed her. You just go your separate ways.
Yes, Your Honor.
But what Miss Jenkins did was she took you to small claims court.
That's correct.
For the bills that you owed her. And you claim she did that in violation of your agreement.
Yes, Your Honor. So
now you want her to pay for the things that you claim she owes you for.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that right? And I've read your answer, Miss Jenkins, and I know I'm paraphrasing. This is not really what you said, but it's pretty much what you said. You said, grow up.
Pretty much.
Right.
Pretty much.
So, Mr. Jenkins, let's start with the things that you claim she owes you.
All right. First of all, Your Honor, The things I'm suing for is the TV that I purchased from Miss Jenkins when we first got together. And,
Okay, TV.
Yes.
Now, when did you purchase the TV?
About 2 months into the relationship, Your Honor.
Before you were living together?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me about how that came about.
Well, first of all, Your Honor, we was dating and Ms.
You were
Jenkins,
dating?
Yeah. Ms.
And
Jenkins-
one day you bought a TV.
No, I bought it for her because she was in financial need. She didn't have a TV in her apartment. And so, me being her friend and boyfriend, I looked out for her and got her a television set.
As a gift?
No, as a loan. She promised to pay me back the money for the television set.
When did you buy her the television set?
December of 2000.
Around Christmas time?
No, I think after Christmas, about close to the New Year, Your Honor. This wasn't a Christmas gift.
Did she go shopping for it with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about the TV.
It's a Panasonic 27-inch.
Was there an agreement to pay him back for the TV?
No, ma'am. He bought it for me because he bought it because I didn't have a television. A couple of friends had let me borrow a television, but he said that he would get me a television, and it was before Christmas. It was December 2000, before Christmas.
Okay. Now, from December of 2000, Mr. Akins, until the time you broke up, which was when?
Beginning of May, Your Honor.
Long time. Did she make any payments on this loan for the television?
She gave me $50 after that initially, and then she also had other expenses, like she used to get her car towed all the time.
No, you're not paying attention to me. Don't try to get ahead of me. Mr. Akins, do you think that you think that I'm going to forget my question?
Oh, no, Your Honor.
I'm not that old, sir. Did she make regular payments to you after December of 2000?
Yes, Your Honor. She gave me $50, Your Honor.
When?
She gave me about 2 months afterwards.
Is that right?
No, I didn't give
Get
you
out
any
of
money
here.
for
You
the
don't even
television.
remember. What did you have for lunch yesterday?
Your Honor, she did make the payment.
All
she
right.
gave me a payment on the television
Good.
set.
She made a $50 payment 2 months after that.
Yes.
And what about the rest of the money?
And it never came up again, Your Honor.
Never came up again, and then you moved in together.
Then we moved in together,
And did you
Your Honor.
both watch the 27-inch Panasonic?
No, that TV was in her bedroom, Your Honor. Later on, she bought me a television set, and then after we broke up, she wanted me to pay her back for the television set. So as we was breaking up, I said, well, why would I pay you back? I bought you a television set for $400, and you never gave me a dime for it. We had an agreement during that time that everything was split even.
You are just going to continue to go your way, and I'm telling you that I control my space.
I understand.
So I have questions. When I finish with my questions, if I need any more information, I'll ask you, Mr. Akins.
I understand, Your Honor.
So that's one thing that you're suing for, the TV.
Yes.
Right? That was purchased before you moved in together.
Yes, Your Honor.
What else?
A mixer and a crock
mixer.
pot.
Tell me about the mixer.
The mixer I bought at Best Buy for the defendant, for our household goods, because we were together. So I bought it for the household. And the crock pot for her, Your Honor, because she wanted it.
A mixer.
A mixer, a
And
$200 mixer.
$200 mixer. What about the crock pot?
Crock pot was like $50. I have prices right here from Best Buy.
I don't want the price from Best Buy. I want your paid bills.
Well, I don't have the bills, Your Honor. They were left at her house, at her residence right now.
I have the receipts. I have the receipts.
Whose name are they? His?
No, my name. My credit card name is on the receipts.
Let me see.
The bills weren't paid in the credit card. It was paid through me, through my employee discount for the crock pot and the mixer. She didn't purchase the crock pot and the mixer.
Ma'am, we both work at Best Buy, so it was both of us have the same.
Power stand mixer was $39.60. Where do you get $200?
The mixer is worth $200. The judge told me I have to come back. When I went to small claims court, she had to sue for the original price of the mixer.
Let me ask you a question, sir. If you want to go to small claims court and go before some person who told you that you're entitled to $200 if you're successful on something that you paid $30 for, I think you ought to go and find her. That doesn't happen here. Even if I found that you bought this thing and that you were entitled to it, you could go to you still work for Best Buy?
Yes.
Go there and spend another $30 and get another mixer. Why would I give you $200? You're just annoyed because she won a judgment against you. That's why she said, grow
no, Your
up.
Honor.
Me too.
I'm not annoyed because...
Then we have a crock pot, which you said was $50, which was $14.
14. I haven't seen these receipts.
Yes, ma'am.
$14.70.
I haven't seen these receipts.
He never seen a receipt because I purchased it.
No. Show him the receipts.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
There was no verbal agreement.
We lived together for 2 years, and you telling me we had a verbal agreement. We were together.
Speak not!
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Elmer Rakin says ex-girlfriend Tiffany Jenkins owes for property she either stole or destroyed. Tiffany says Elmer needs to grow up.
What else do you claim she owes you for, Mr. Rakin?
On 2 occasions, the defendant came into my apartment before we lived together and destroyed my personal property.
Okay, just a second. I read that. You said that was sometime in October?
Yes.
And then you moved in together?
Yes.
Why did you move in together?
Well, she came to me with a sad story, talking about, oh, we had scheduled to move in together, this and this and that. Oh, I can't afford to move in together.
What's this and this and that?
I can't afford to move and get a place on my own. So I was like, okay, we can reconcile, we can get back together, and we can try to make this work.
Very good. Then you forgave her all the things that she allegedly broke when you had...
No, I didn't. We never talked about it, Your Honor.
You never talked about it?
That's what came at the end.
Why do you expect me to talk about something that happened 2 years ago
this is where I'm coming to, Your Honor, with the agreement at the end.
Mr. Akins, don't try to talk over me. Now I've got the drill. You want the things that she allegedly broke, and then you want the mixer and the crock pot, receipts for which she has that are in her name, that all amount to maybe $40. Then you want a TV that you purchased for her before you were living together 2 years ago. Now you're going to explain to me about your agreement.
And I also want for a rider bill. I moved in her stuff out of her old apartment into the new apartment, and I also pay people to move her. I have the rider bill right here, if you want to look at it, Your Honor.
I don't. It's not even in your complaint. It's not in your complaint.
Well, I have to take that up later.
You can't take that up later, Mr. Akins. I'm going to tell you why. Because you have one opportunity to file all claims that surround the same incident. You can't pick and choose and say, well, I'm going to sue her today for the mixer, tomorrow for the crock pot, the next day for the television, and then 2 weeks from now I'm going to sue her for the TV. Because that is called harassment.
Well,
that's called harassment.
Well, Your Honor, she sued me.
Shh. Listen to me. So, if you didn't include it in this claim, this rider bill, that claim is forever over. I want you to understand that. Now you can tell me why her suing you and what she sued you for caused you to file this lawsuit.
Well, at the end of the relationship, she said I owe her money for a television set that she purchased for me. During the time that we was living together, she moved in one of her best friends into our apartment. Her friend was supposed to pay me $400 for back rent. I said, we could do this. She won't have to pay me the $400. She verbally told me she was going to give me and give it to you, and we'll be settled, and the whole thing will be over. After that agreement, she got with me, and I say, okay, I'll pay her back for the television set that she purchased for me just to get her out of my life. Later on, a week later, I get a summons that I'm getting sued for the same television set that I'm paying for, and the back rent, even though we had a verbal agreement from the inner relationship that the whole thing would be over. And that we each other get on with our lives.
Was that clear as a bell to you?
I have no idea what this man is talking about.
I don't either.
It's
all complicated, Your Honor. It's all complicated.
Oh, I know.
But all I know is we had a verbal agreement that bygones would be bygones.
It's like the Treaty of Versailles. Miss Jenkins.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything you want to say to me?
Okay, there was no verbal agreement after, when I went to camp.
Yeah, we lived together for 2 years, and you telling me we had no verbal agreement. Well, we lived together for 6 months. We lived together
Speak not! Listen to me. You bought the crock pot?
Yes, ma'am.
That's here. You bought the mixer?
Yes, ma'am.
That's here. I'm not interested in things that you may have broken before you moved in together. He forgave those things because I assume that after you moved in together... Quiet! That after you moved in together, you did share a bedroom, did you not?
Yes, ma'am.
And you did share a bed, did you not?
Yes, ma'am.
Why? Somebody gets angry because you broke their best Baccarat crystal, then you don't share a bed together and get up in the morning and say, you're going to pay me for that glass tomorrow, remember. That doesn't usually happen, so forget about that. Now, as far as the television is concerned, I don't find that that was a loan.
No, ma'am, it wasn't.
But I'm just curious. He says there was another television set purchased. Who purchased it?
He purchased the television with my credit card. I came from out of town, and he had a sale auction at his store, and he went and bought the television for me. The television was, I was on.
You're talking about 2 years ago?
No, ma'am. The new television.
Okay.
He bought it with my credit card. I sent him to the store with my credit card to get it because I had drove 7 hours that day. I went to Cancun. When I came back, the television was gone. I asked him why he didn't take the television he paid for and leave.
That's not true, Your Honor. That's not true.
Shh. Just a second.
When I came back from Cancun, he was gone.
Oh, just a second. So he took the TV?
Yes, ma'am.
He took the TV that was purchased on your credit card that you are still paying for?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, I gotcha.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Jenkins, I have a relatively good short-term memory. When we started this case, I said that Ms. Jenkins, in her answer, seems to be saying, why doesn't he just grow up and get on with his life?
Well, Your Honor,
I think that's a very good idea.
Well,
the
Your
case
Honor,
is dismissed. Grow up, get on with it.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Don't sit there and drag somebody to court just because you have a grudge.
I looked out for her, but she screwed me in the end.
Just trying to be evil, that's all.
This is case number 298 on the calendar in the matter of Sullivan versus Knighton. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Tell me your name.
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy? Would you come up here? Come up here.
Oh, can you make it up here? Hold on. Oh, there you go. All right.
Hi.
Hi.
You have a big, strong voice. How old are you, Jimmy?
6 years old.
I have a couple of questions for you. You think you can think real hard so you can answer these questions? I understand that you got shot in the head with a BB. Can you tell me what happened?
I was in my yard.
You were in your yard?
And Chase had a BB gun shooting at a piece of foam.
Who had a BB gun? Chase?
Chase.
Is that little boy over there, Chase? Is he your friend?
Yes, he was, but when he shot me with the BB gun, well, I had to go to the doctor, and when I got back home, Mom said I could never play with him again. And I stayed in the house.
It was an accident, though, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. He didn't mean to hurt you, did he? He did?
Yeah, he said, I'm going to shoot you. Now I'm going to really shoot you.
We have to talk to him about that, okay? Did you shake hands? Maybe we will later. I'm going to have to talk with him right now, okay? Okay, why don't you go step down?
Watch your step, partner.
Cute.
All right. Let's see.
Chase, come on up here.
Oh.
Good. Hi.
Hi.
Chase, Jimmy is a friend of yours? Or he was?
He goes to my school.
And you're a nice boy? And he's a nice boy? Where'd you get this BB gun from?
From behind my papa's door.
That where your papa leaves it?
Now he leaves it in his closet.
And is the closet locked now? But he used to leave it just behind the door? So it's your grandpa's gun? Or your daddy's?
It's my dad's or my grandpa's.
But it used to be just behind the door. In whose room?
My papa's.
What were you doing with the BB gun when Jimmy got shot?
Shooting beer bottles with my next door neighbor.
And how old is your next door neighbor?
14.
Who was with you at home that day, Chase?
My grandma.
Just your grandma?
And my sister and brother.
And where was your daddy?
At work.
And your papa?
He was at work.
Did you ask permission to take the BB gun out? Are you supposed to ask permission? So you didn't do the right thing, right? You didn't mean to hurt Jimmy, did you? I didn't think so. What happened when your daddy found out that you had shot Jimmy with the BB gun? Did he tell you not to do that anymore?
Told not to.
Would you like to sort of shake hands with Jimmy and maybe you could try to be friends again? What about you? Not ready to do that yet? Okay. Okay, Chase, why don't you go sit down next to your papa? So that's what this case is about. Right. This case is about one little boy who got shot in the head with a BB gun, and I gather from the complaint that the doctors have decided to leave the BB in his head rather than do some surgery. And Ms. Sullivan, what you want is you want the defendant to pay for all the medical bills that you have and some money for pain and suffering.
Correct.
I'm ready for your defense, sir.
Well, first of all, I think that this could have been stopped if she would have told me first of all, that he had the BB gun, because when I went over there to talk to him, she told me, she said she seen Chase running around with the BB gun, waving it around. So I was just wondering, you know, when she told me that, why didn't she come to me and tell me that in the first place?
You were working.
I was not at work.
That's what he said.
I know, but he's mistaken.
So you were home?
I was at home. I was in the living room.
Oh, that's even worse. So you were at home.
Yes, ma'am.
In a situation where you were totally responsible for your sons having access to an instrument that could cause serious physical injury to somebody else that was not secured. You are 100% responsible for Jimmy's medical bills, out-of-pocket expenses. It was your responsibility. Is this your father?
Yes, ma'am.
Your father's responsibility to ensure that that BB gun was secured so that your 6-year-old son could take it and hurt anybody else or himself. You know that that's true. Now, I don't know whether Miss Sullivan could tell from this BB gun whether or not it was a toy or capable of hurting anybody, or whether it was loaded or not loaded. Who knows that? But you certainly knew that it was capable of causing injury, and your father certainly knew that, and both of you understood that it was not the right place to keep it, behind some door, and it's now secured in a place where he can't get it, right? So it's secured now. It was a little too late. So let me see the bills. 1, 2, 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have an X-ray that indicates where this BB is?
I do.
Have you ever
pulled
seen
one
that,
out?
Mr. Knight?
No, ma'am.
I'd like to take a look at it.
It's still in his head.
Is this the first time that your son has taken out that BB gun?
I don't think so.
How many times did you play with this BB gun?
One.
One time before this?
I played with it 2 times over at the next door neighbors. We're shooting beer bottles.
On a different day or the same day?
Different day.
So you had that BB gun out twice. And where was your daddy the first time you had it out? Did anybody
think it
know
was
you
at
had it out
home.
the first time?
I think it was at home, or it was at home.
Did your daddy know you had the gun out the first time you had it out shooting beer bottles?
No.
How big is this gun?
Not from here to here.
That's pretty big. Is it heavy?
My dad's is this long.
That's pretty heavy for you to carry, isn't it?
No, it was mine. It was my BB gun.
What does that mean?
His mom bought him the BB gun.
So this is his BB gun. It's not yours or your father's.
That's right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He's going to give me a knife when I get 15.
If you're smart, you'll ask him to get you a microscope or a doctor's kit so that you can hope to be something that's really good and not a thug with a knife.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Gail Sullivan says her 6-year-old son, Jimmy Johnson, was shot in the head with a BB gun. Gail says the shooter was her neighbor's son, 6-year-old Chase Knighton.
Where is his mother?
His mother is off somewhere.
Off?
She banded us.
Okay. When did she buy this BB gun?
Christmas.
She bought it for him. I didn't want him to have it. And he insisted. He cried about it because I know I never wanted him to have it in the first place. I knew he was too young. Should never have one. But
Right. Your dad has to take that BB gun and put it away for a very long time
Yeah.
so that you can't even touch it. Do you understand? Maybe when you're 15 or 16 years old, your daddy will be able to take it out. And when you're responsible enough to use it right, he'll be able to give it to you. But it's not the right thing for you to even hold it because you're not big enough yet to do that. Do you understand?
Yeah, he's going to give me a knife when I get 15.
A knife? I want to tell you what your papi's going to get you when you're 15. He's going to get you a microscope. If you're smart, you'll ask him to get you a microscope or a doctor's kit, you know, so that you can aspire to be something, so that you can hope to be something that's really good, you know, like a doctor or a lawyer and not a thug with a knife. That's not good. Do you understand? Not good. Certain things are good, certain things are not. What does your daddy do for a living? No. What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm a warehouse manager.
He works in a warehouse, and he's a manager. He manages a lot of other people and tells them where things go. He has a very important job. You think that he handles that job because he has a big knife? And you know what kind of a job your papi used to have?
He's told me he used to be a marshal.
A marshal? Is that right?
I'm a deputy marshal with Alabama Supreme Court.
See, so he has a job that's related to the law, right? He's a deputy marshal in the court system. It's a very important job. And he doesn't need a knife for that job. You've got to teach him the right thing. And if he wants the wrong thing, you have to sort of reorient him.
Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Can I say something? The knife he's talking about is one of those little knives with the fingernail file in it and the toothpick and everything.
By the time he gets to be 15, he's not going to want that knife.
Well, that'd be the only one he get.
Good. All right. Well, there's no question that you folks are responsible for these medical bills. There's no question with regard to that. I think that they were absolutely 100% negligent allowing this weapon to be in a position where he could get his hands on it. I have a feeling that these two gentlemen have a very full plate. I also think, Jimmy, that he's probably a very nice little boy. He did a bad thing, and you should really probably give him another chance. I think that that would be a nice thing to do. I really do. Because you're supposed to forgive somebody if they're really sorry. You are sorry for what happened, aren't you? He really is sorry. He would really like to be your friend. Think you're willing to give him another chance? I sort of like that idea. Come on.
Okay.
Give him one shake. Go ahead. That's good. See, that didn't hurt. Good. All right, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,654, which are the actual damages, and another $1,000 punitive damages, $2,654. Thank you, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Chase knew that he wasn't supposed to take that gun out of the house. I don't know why he took it out.
Jimmy said he told him he was going to shoot him with a gun, and I feel like that this child shouldn't have had the gun.
Keep the gun away from small children and keep it locked up.
That could have been a pistol. My son could be dead.
This is case number 260 on the calendar in the matter of DeGrace versus Rossi. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Grace, you rented a room from the defendant. The tenancy lasted 1 day. You want your money back, and in addition to your money back, you want some punitive damages you claim for invasion of your privacy. Mr. Rossi said you left of your own volition, you broke the terms of your tenancy, and you don't get any money back. Correct?
That is correct.
Okay. What kind of place did you rent to her, Mr. Rossi?
Room inside of a privately owned home.
You're the owner?
Yes.
So you rented her a room in your house with kitchen privileges, I assume?
Correct.
How much did you charge her in rent?
$325.
And what other money did she give you?
First month's additional for utility expenses.
How much did she give you in total?
$575.
Had you advertised for this room?
Yes.
Where?
Buffalo News.
Are you legally able to rent in your home?
Correct.
You are legally able to do that?
Sure.
She signed the lease?
No.
How come?
There was no written contract.
Why not?
Didn't feel the need to.
If you have a tenancy, then you have a contract. It says what your rent is, what security deposit, what it's for, that it'll be returned, what you're going to do with the security deposit, put it in an interest-bearing account. I mean, you want to do all these...
There was no mention of any security deposit, Your Honor.
Well, what was the other $250 for, sir?
Money that she chipped in for the utility expenses the first month.
$250 for your utilities?
Correct.
What utilities cost you $250?
There was no mention of any additional security deposit.
Mr. Rossi, had you ever rented a room before?
No.
Never?
No.
Okay. Who advised you legally?
No one.
That's what I figured. Okay. Now, Mr. Grace, what date did you move in?
January 1st.
When had you seen the room?
3-4 days before it.
And you spoke to Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Who else lives in the home?
His girlfriend.
Just the two of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How old are you?
19.
Your mother. Sit down. Yeah, what happened on January 1st when you moved in?
He helped me move my stuff into the apartment, and he was acting very strange.
It was a room.
I'll get to that.
What apartment?
His apartment.
I thought it was a house.
No, it's not.
What is it?
It's an apartment that he is renting.
It's an apartment in a building that he's renting?
No, it's just an apartment, like a house. But he's renting.
From whom?
From his landlord.
Is that true?
It's a privately owned house, Your Honor.
Do you own it?
I don't own the house, no.
That's what I asked you before. Did I ask him that question before?
That's what you asked him.
And what did he say? He said yes.
He said, yeah.
You are a renter.
Yes.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Rossi?
Self-employed contractor.
How long have you been a tenant?
6 years.
In the same place?
Correct.
Did you have permission of your landlord to rent?
Yes.
Show me.
I don't have anything in writing.
Really?
No.
What's your rent?
How much do I pay for rent?
That would be the question, Mr. Rossi.
$470.
Plus what?
Utilities.
So your rent is $470, you're charging her $3 1/4.
Correct.
Go ahead, Mr. Grace. You say he's acting weird. He is weird.
He was not charging me $3 1/4. He was charging me $350.
Okay.
I paid him up front the day before I moved in for $250 for utilities, and the day that I moved in, I paid him $350 for the first month's rent. He refused to give me a receipt saying that I paid him $350. He said for tax reasons. Then he showed me and my father all these gas bills that he owed. He did not say that he couldn't pay them. He just said that they were too high. And that night, I fell asleep that night. He came in my room. His pit bull first, he didn't tell me he had a pit bull. His pit bull burst into my room and started attacking me, started jumping all over me, biting my arms.
If a pit bull bit your arms, madam, you would know it. Mr. Grace, I don't want you to make up any stories
It was
to
under
embellish.
the covers.
You understand?
Okay, yes.
If a pit bull bites you all over the arms, you would have major scars or some scars.
I was under the covers.
Oh, okay, so his dog came into your room and it scared you.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Then he came in my room smoking pot. He got the dog off of me and he sat down next to me and he started talking sexually to me. And he
That's a lie.
No, it's not. He's the liar.
You felt uncomfortable there, is that right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Prior to your moving into his room, where had you been living?
At my father's.
Does your father live with your mother?
No.
How long had you been living with your father?
For about 3 years.
Why did you leave your father's house?
I wanted to become more independent.
Were you working?
No, I was going to school.
Full-time or part-time?
Full-time.
Who was going to be paying your rent?
I was.
If you're a full-time student, how are you going to pay your rent?
I am on SSI.
What's the nature of your disability?
Depression, anxiety.
And you take medication for that?
Yes.
You were going to try to make it on your own?
Yes.
Didn't work out. And the next day, you said, I'm going back home. Now, when you left, where did you go?
I didn't go back home. I called up my mother and I was crying.
Okay, and so did you go to your mother's house?
Yes.
And you stayed there?
Yes.
Is that where you're living now?
No.
Where are you living now?
I'm living back at my father's.
Okay, good. Everything okay?
At my father's, yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Rossi, aside from the fact that you illegally rented a room in a place where you were a tenant and you have absolutely no proof of the fact that your landlord gave you permission to do that, I'd like you to tell me what were your out-of-pocket expenses for the 24 hours that Mr. Grace lived in your house? Is not an answer, Mr. Rossi.
Out-of-pocket expenses while she was there for 24 hours?
Yes.
There were none.
Perfect. Then if she left after 24 hours, why didn't you return her money to her?
Because I had to spend time to try to gain access to get myself a new tenant. If I was able to
what
have...
kind of nonsense did he just say? What kind of gobbledygook did he just put together?
I'm not catching it.
You're not catching it. You're not catching it.
You are
Mr. Grace.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You don't look like an unintelligent person. A little slimy, but not unintelligent.
And later today...
Tell me what they were.
It was payment for money that I loaned.
That's not what I asked you. That is the conclusion.
The circumstances?
If you don't remember, say I don't remember. Remember that I will test you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 19-year-old Allison DeGrace claims former landlord Stephen Rossi caused her to move out after only 1 day. Allison says during her first night there, Stephen entered her room while she was asleep.
Mr. Rossi, my question was, you illegally rented a room, she moved out, you had absolutely no loss as a result of her moving out. If you were aware of the fact, Mr. Rossi, that when she moved in, that she was on medication, a fact that was evident to me, then why didn't you say, look, this is not working out. She's unhappy. I'm going to give her back her money.
I wasn't aware that she was unhappy, Your Honor.
Listen, she moves all of her things into your house. She comes there with her father.
Correct.
With her father. I mean, if you're an intelligent person, you don't look like an unintelligent person, a little slimy, but not unintelligent. You understand that there's a certain dynamic here going on. This was in what month? January in Buffalo. It gets very cold, but I'm sure your brain thought out enough in Buffalo in January to understand that there's a certain family dynamic going on here. So if it didn't work out and she was unhappy, she was stressed, whatever it was, you say, here's your $600 back. I'm not out any money. It didn't work out, especially since you were doing something that was in violation of your tenancy. You probably fell behind in some bills, and you probably figured you could get somebody to shore up a little bit, and you did, and you got a $600. You managed to pay off the bills you were behind paying off, and you say you can't have your money back. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Everything he said was a complete lie.
The girl's on lithium. She's on Prozac. She's only 19 years old.
I'm not on heavy medication.
I think she moved into a place. She moved out the following day. It's her loss.
I'm not crazy.
I think the girl's nuts.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Boncheva versus Lowhorn. Step forward, please.
17-year-old Petya Boncheva is suing 23-year-old welder Larry Lowhorn for keying Petya's car. Larry is denying the charge.
All right, this is not going to take long, Bird. Don't get too comfortable. According to your complaint, you knew the defendant. Whether you liked him or he liked you, I quite frankly don't care whether you were friends or not, but according to your complaint, you were at somebody else's house, you walked into the house, he's sitting there with his shoes off, and you commented that he had dirty socks, which irritated him. The next thing you knew, you went outside, so you saw that somebody had keyed your car, and you say it was the defendant. He says, you did comment about his dirty socks, but he didn't key your car. Correct. Is that right?
That is correct, Your Honor.
I probably think you keyed her car, just watching you, watching your body language. I'm really smart when it comes to that. I think you did do that, but it, see what I mean?
Yes.
But it's up to her to prove it to me. And you have no witnesses, is that right?
No.
Nobody saw him do it?
No.
He didn't admit that he did it?
No.
So what do you want me to do?
Well, he actually did say that he was going to do something to my car, and the night that...
Your Honor?
Don't speak until I speak to you.
Yes.
The night that he keyed my car, we were over at my friend Keith's house.
Don't give me the whole story. I want to know. He said he was going to key your car. When did he say he was going to do something
After I made a comment about his socks, telling him that his socks were dirty, he looked at me and he said, well, you really shouldn't make comments to people that know what kind of car you drive. So I said, you don't even know what kind of car I drive, and he reminded me how we met and the night he'd seen my car, so I was like, okay, you know, he knows my car. Then right after he made a comment, he said, well, you better watch out now. Watch what happens to you now.
So you have pretty good reason to think that it was him, right?
Yeah.
But you understand that in court you have to have proof.
Yeah, well, actually, I did call the Clinton Township Police Department. We did make a report about it. I was in there for not more than a half an hour, and after he made a comment, he went outside for 5 minutes, and you know, he came back, he just looked at me and smiled. So my friend Keith said, well, let's go look at your car. You know, maybe he did do something to it. So me and him walked outside and seen my car was keyed. Right after he was out there for 5 minutes, came back, and, you know, we went outside. So
what did the police tell you when you reported it?
They told me to make a report about it, take him to court, because...
They couldn't do anything about it because you had no witnesses. They couldn't arrest him.
No.
Now you want to say something?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. What she was failing to mention at first is that she was kind of upset with me in the beginning, before all this even started, because, like, when we initially met...
I don't care!
Okay.
Get to her car!
Okay, when I got to the apartment and she started saying this stuff to me...
about your dirty socks.
Yes.
And about your hygiene.
Yes, I kind of got aggravated, so I kind of went outside. My witness, Sam, and another girl were outside. They were talking. I went out there to use the phone because we had gotten the argument. I called my girlfriend to come pick me up because I didn't want to sit here and argue with a 16-year-old about something as petty as like dirty socks. So I called him. We came up back to Sam came up first, and I came up later with Laura.
Sir,
Actually,
Mr.
he's lying,
Lawhorn,
Your Honor.
I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear you.
Okay.
Unless you're going to tell me, Judge, I'm going to fess up. Either I keyed her car, or my friend keyed her car, or I saw somebody key her car. I don't want to hear all your other nonsense. Do you understand?
Yes.
Did you key her car?
No, Your Honor.
Do you know who did?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
No.
You have no proof that he keyed your car? You have no witnesses? He didn't make a confession? Do you understand? I can't find that he keyed your car. He might have, or he might have, or somebody else that was outside might have. He may have given them the key to key your car. You have no proof.
But he said he was going to do something to my car. So, and I was in there for not more than a half an hour, and we walked outside as soon as she came in, and my car was keyed. No, Sam was not outside with him when he went outside. Neither was Laura. They were all in the apartment with us.
Well, they weren't.
They were all
Listen to
in
me.
there. So he went outside alone.
You have no proof that he keyed your car. Not sufficient in court, anyway. Not sufficient for the police to arrest him for vandalism, and not sufficient for me to be able to charge him for fixing your car. He might have done it. Probably did, based upon his body English, but I can't make a judgment based upon that. So unfortunately, I have to dismiss your case. That's all. That's all.
Now, this is case number 271 on the calendar in the matter of Scheibel versus Lukowski. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Scheibel, the defendant was your son's hockey coach, is that right?
Correct.
And it is your claim that he filed false charges against you, alleging certain threats of violence and harassment. You want to be compensated.
Correct.
The defendant says that whatever charges he filed against you were absolutely accurate, and he has a cross-complaint because he said that you have continued to harass him.
Correct.
How long has your son been in a hockey league, Mr. Scheibel?
It's going on probably 2 years now.
And how long has the defendant been his coach?
I believe this is the first year.
Had they had difficulty from the beginning?
It seemed like it started from I believe, the first game.
Well, tell me about it.
Something had happened on the bench, I'm not quite sure, and then he accused my son of saying vulgar words. And then after the game, my wife had confronted him about it.
You weren't there?
Yes, I was there, but I was at a different part of the ring.
So this is when the trouble started. So maybe you can tell me. What happened at the first game, if you remember?
Steven Scheibel on my team was in the corner of the bench making gestures like this. I asked him if he was doing okay, and he said no. I thought he was ill. Therefore, he didn't go out the next few shifts. Another young man walked off the rink onto the bench and said to Steven, "Are you okay?" And I said, "No, he's sick." And he goes, "No, I'm not. F you." I turned to the other coach. I says, I was just cursed at again, which was several other times during practices as it happened.
This young man cursed at you other times?
Oh, yes, ma'am. This has been a constant problem with Steven Scheibel, his behavior. We as coaches have took disciplinary action by benching him. And in this particular case, I was the one that went and approached Mr. and Mrs. Scheibel outside the rink to advise them of their child's behavior. I said to Mr. and Mrs. Scheibel, I want to let you know of an incident that took place, what their son had said to me. Mrs. Scheibel then called Steven over and asked him if he said, "Did you say F you?" And Steven said, "No, Mom."
So he lied?
Yes, ma'am. And then...
Sure you did.
And then Mrs. Scheibel started yelling at me, "Don't be making things about my son." And
So she's an idiot too?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, before we get to any claims of false charges, let me tell you exactly where I'm coming from, so you understand. Usually, fathers who participate as coaches do so because they love the sport and they generally like children. So that I have to assume that the man standing before me is not a psychopath, and that the reason he participates in the sport is because he likes children and he likes the sport. So if somebody in authority comes over to you and says to you, "Madam, your son's got a toilet mouth," you believe him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, now you're saying yeah.
I did. I believed him. That's why I went and got my son.
And your son said, "No, I didn't say it"?
I said, "You have to apologize to this man if you said that."
Stand up here. Yeah. Not if you said that. Not if you said that. How dare you open your mouth to him?
Right.
Because he just looked at me before and said, I didn't say that. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
You're a liar.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You may con her, but you don't con me because there's no reason for him to lie. You know how many punks like you I've seen in my life who have a fresh mouth? Tens of thousands. And the majority of the ones that continue to get in trouble come from parents who don't think that they do anything wrong, who blame somebody else. There shouldn't have been a question, did you say it? No, not did you say it. He said it. He lied to you, he lied to me. The only thing is, I call him. Now sit down. What happened afterwards?
Well, after we started taking disciplinary action against Stephen regarding other incidences, one was he punched another player on our bench in the stomach, completely disruptive, which led up to having him dismissed from the team. That's when all my problems started, Your Honor. I had death threats called to my house. I've had motorcycles show up in front of my house. Mr. Scheibel continually showed up at our games at 3 different facilities using profanity, and I'm not talking just trash talk. I'm talking vulgar words in front of all the children.
How many times did Mr. Scheibel show up at games where his son was not a participant? And give me the dates and the places.
13. I can go right through the dates, Your Honor, if
Can
you'd
you
like.
do that, please?
On August 4th,
Go ahead.
that's the time that Mr. Scheibel came after the other coach and I. On August 6th, he showed up at the Great Lakes Sports Facility in Fraser.
What were you doing there?
My son was supposed to be playing, and my son went down to the locker room, and the coach's wife, she had told him that he's no longer on the roster.
So did you stay or did you leave?
Well, I went down there to see what was going on, and she came up to me, and I told her, I said, why are you talking to me? You have a PPO out on me.
Who had a protective order against you?
Mark and the coach's wife, which I don't understand.
When was that issued, sir?
I believe it was 8-4 or 8 something.
The 8.
Can I see the protective order, please? All right, so now he knows that the kid's not on the team anymore. Now it's August 6th. If he ever knew
Actually,
before...
Your Honor, he had been advised the previous evening when...
Fine. I assume he knew the previous evening and he
Right.
came down there just to test it. But when was the next time he showed up at a game?
On August 10th, he showed up at Joe Dumar's field house at a different facility that we were at. And
What
at
were you
that-
doing there on the 10th, sir?
Was that the day, Stephen? Did he play?
Did he play on that date?
No, ma'am.
Was he scheduled to play?
No, ma'am.
What were you still doing involved with this hockey team, sir? Your son was kicked off the team because of his behavior. What were you still involved for?
He was still playing at this
Yeah,
time.
he wasn't kicked off yet. He technically was not kicked off until, I think it was August 12th.
Fine. After August 12th, did he show up at any game?
On the 12th, he showed up at Great Lakes Sports Facility in Fraser and threatened the other coach, his wife, and myself again.
What did he say when he showed up on the 12th?
He said that we better put his son back on the team. I haven't seen the end of him. I will pay. Basically, I don't know if it was this conversation. I better sleep with one eye open.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You said, my son better be back on this team or you better sleep with one eye open. That's a threat, and I believe you said it. Oh, yeah.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. David Scheibel says after an incident at a hockey game, his son's coach, Mark Lukowski Sr., filed false charges with the police. Mark says David threatened his life.
Now, on the 8th, there was a protective order issued. What was that based on?
Your Honor, I had received the threats, and he continually came to the facilities. I was for fear of my children and my family.
Okay.
I contacted an attorney. They advised me to go get a personal protection order.
Was that subsequently extended at any time?
No, Your Honor. They filed for motion for dismissal, and we went before the judge on August 26th. And at that case, the judge read Mr. Scheibel the Riot Act and advised him if he sees him in his courtroom one more time, he would be going straight to jail.
He has the minutes. Let me see the minutes.
Okay, great.
According to statute in your jurisdiction, the statute requires 3 contacts that are unwanted after notice. He has to have notice. He does go on to say, now he's on notice. And if there's further contact with you or your son or your family, then you can come back to court. He was not happy with you. Judge is not happy with you. He didn't say he didn't believe what he told him. He said their statute requires 3 contacts. I don't know why it requires 3 contacts. 1 would seem to me to be sufficient. However, you have no right to come in and sue him. Absolutely none. If you put him in fear because of your conduct, then there is no question that by going to the games where you didn't belong, after your son was already on notice that there were problems, and you put yourself out there, he had a right to say, I feel threatened, and I'm afraid, and go to court and seek a protective order so that you would stay away from him. And the protective order is very simple, Mr. Scheibel. It says you're prevented from assaulting, attacking, beating, or molesting him, which you shouldn't do anyway. Interfering with petitioner at his employment, education, or engaging in conduct which impairs petitioner's employment or education, you can't do that anyway. Harassing him, approaching or confronting him in a public place or on private property, you're not to do that anyway. But it also says you're not to appear at his workplace or residence. They've laid those things out. The first part of this protective order prohibits you from doing what the law proscribes anyway. So what's your complaint?
He has no proof that I did all these lies.
I believe him. Oh, I believe him.
Well, I called
believe
his
that
house and made fire threats?
No. I'm discounting that. The court discounted that. I read what they said. They asked him, do you have any proof that he was the one who made those threatening calls? And he said no. I'm discounting that. I am not discounting the fact that you said, my son better be back on this team or you better sleep with one eye open. That's a threat.
That
and
was
I believe
never
you said it. Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't.
Oh, yes, I believe you said it. Because I don't believe that somebody who gives up their time to coach a hockey team with children wants to be confrontational.
He's had 3 children walk off this team crying.
So
and
what?
now they're all on my team.
Good for you. I hope your son doesn't curse you.
If he had lied to one time, well, it says he didn't lie again.
What do you mean if he lied once? When did he lie?
About the motorcycles?
No. He didn't lie about that, sir. Listen to me very carefully. What he testified in front of me was that right after your son was dismissed from the team, he started to get threats. He started to get phone calls. Motorcycles started coming around his house. That's what he testified before me. He didn't say he saw you on the motorcycle. He didn't say he did the threats. He said it was coincidental. I'm discounting all of that, sir. I'm saying I believe him when he says that you said you better put my son back on the team or you better sleep with one eye open or you haven't heard the last of this. That's enough of a threat. Now, let's get to your counterclaim. I'll hear it.
Okay, Your Honor. On August 24th, my son Eric was playing a hockey game in the town that Mr. Scheibel resides in. At that time, Mr. Scheibel volunteered to be the scorekeeper during that game. At that time, he started making harassing comments to my son while he was playing hockey. A police report was filed and made, and intimidation and stalking was the offense, and I have a copy of that if you'd like to see it.
I'll look at the police report.
This was the day prior to going back to the PPO hearing. At that time, my son had to discontinue playing hockey at that place. He had made the...
Just a minute. Do you have copies of any of the emails that you allege that Mr. Scheibel sent to your son?
No, Your Honor, I do not. I was called while I was out of town that Mr. Scheibel had sent an email to my son, Eric, and basically it was a non-threatening one, although an intimidating one, by indicating...
I just asked you if he had copies of the emails, sir. They didn't ask for an explanation.
No, I don't.
Mr. Scheibel, did you ever approach one John Savage with regard to your son being thrown off the team?
The father? Yes.
John?
I don't know his name, but I believe that's his name, yes.
And when you approached him, your husband was around?
No.
You went back to where your husband was seated after you spoke to Mr. Savage?
Correct.
And your husband cursed at Mr. Savage?
Yes. I was crying at that time.
Your husband cursed at Mr. Savage?
Yes, correct.
And you told your husband to be quiet?
Possibly.
And that's because he was behaving badly?
Well, I do not like cursing, period.
Step up, Eric. Eric, I want you to tell me what it was that Mr. Scheibel said or did to you that frightened you.
When I was skating by him, he would always go, I'm over here, Eric. Come over here, Eric.
Is there any reason for that, sir? Is there any reason you were calling his name at hockey games?
I wasn't.
Why do you think he would say that you did?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Could it possibly be that because his father had a protective order against you, that you felt as if he could get his goat by making his son feel uncomfortable?
No.
You would never do that.
No, I wouldn't.
You're not a hothead.
He has tried to provoke me.
No, you're not a
yes.
hothead, is what I said.
No, I'm not.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
He's talking about approaching his son. He walked by my son and said, my son is going to kick your ass.
Bad behavior.
Very bad behavior.
Very bad behavior.
I also have a police report, too, Your Honor, that he has implicated my husband, my son, and another member in stealing, larceny from a building. We've been approached by people. Oh, you're the people that have the PPO against you. Oh, you're the people that, stole tiles. He is just spreading rumor after rumor after rumor.
Well, the part about the protective order, that's not a rumor.
But, that was all based on lies, too, Your
No,
Honor.
it wasn't. Oh, no.
Phone calls? Did you...
Listen, are you not hearing me?
You said
are you not hearing me?
You were ignoring this, correct?
Are you not hearing me? I said to you, if somebody says you better sleep with one eye open or I'm going to get you, that's enough for a protective order, and I believe your husband said that to him. And I'm not interested in phone calls because he says he doesn't really know who made them. That's what he told the judge. He said, it just so happens that coincidentally, after Potty Mouth over here was dismissed from the team, he started to get all of these telephone call hang-ups. Now, it could have been your son, it could have been his friends, it could have been somebody else, it could have been your husband. Who knows? Maybe it was you. All I know is that from what I've read, stop flipping, what I've read, your husband's got a toilet mouth sufficient for you to have said to him, sit down in a public place because he cursed at another coach in front of children. Yes, and you had to say to him, sit down.
Okay, I realize, but Mr. Lukowski is saying this all happened after they removed my son from the team, which that is not true.
I don't care if it happened before or after or less Tisha B'Av. Doesn't make any difference. Your case is dismissed. Period. End of discussion. As far as you're concerned, sir, I want to know if you think that you did everything right.
Yes, Your Honor, I did. I have the code of conduct that I have to sign as a coach.
Don't give me code of conduct.
And
I don't want to have code of conduct. I'm not talking about dismissing him. I think if he opened up a mouth to you once, get rid of him. If his father's prepared to tolerate that because that's the kind of language his father uses, that's the kind of adult he'll grow up to be. But his mother says that you said something to him.
That is totally not true, Your Honor. I would never. I've coached hockey for 7 years, year-round, with 400 to 450 children under my direction and never had any problems. I'm there for the kids. There's no way I would intimidate a young man.
Let's see who heard this. Did you hear it?
No, my son.
Maybe I'll believe him if he says something that's truthful. Get up here. Tell me about a conversation or a statement that your former coach said to you after you had stopped playing ball.
Well, I was there to sub for another team, and I was standing there watching the other game. He looked at me and he's like, well, my son's going to kick your... Then he walked over to where his son was playing, like he was going to tell him.
And what did you do when he said that to you?
I just kind of stood there and went over to the locker room so I can get dressed.
You mean dressed to play?
Yeah.
And did you play?
Yeah.
Did anything happen at the game?
No, not really.
Your Honor, I do recall this instance and situation, although what I did is my son was playing in a different league. I said to my wife, I'm going to go watch Mark kick some butt, and I walked over to the rink to watch my oldest son play. I made no reference to Stephen Scheibel, never would.
Maybe he heard it and took it as directed to him.
I would never say anything like that.
Maybe. All right, listen, go home. Both of you, go home. What?
Well, after he kicked me off the team, a couple games during the playoffs, he let me play again.
So? It means he's a nice guy. I wouldn't have let you play again. He opened up a big, fresh toilet mouth to me, and you would have been in another jurisdiction, another state.
Your Honor,
Just a second. That didn't require an answer. What I'm trying to get through to him is his mother may believe that he never said the words that he said to you. He learned them at home. He sees that they're commonplace. His father can say it, he can say it. There's no question his father said it because his mother said his father said it. If I asked his father would have probably denied it, just like his son did. It's a game. It's a game. It's a game. Goodbye.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Gladue versus Culpepper Sedgwick. Step forward, please.
Administrative Assistant Heidi Gladue is suing her former friends, 23-year-old customer service rep Michelle Culpepper and 19-year-old customer service rep Wayne Sedgwick for trashing her belongings.
Miss Gladue, for some reason you were living with the defendants for a brief period of time with your daughter. This didn't work out. They asked you to leave. Is that right?
That's correct.
And you left, but when you left a lot of your property there. And it is your claim that at some point they took your property and threw it in the dumpster.
Yes, ma'am.
So you want them to pay you the value of the property that you claim they disposed of.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendants say they gave you plenty of opportunity to get your stuff out. They had no obligation to keep it. And finally, when you didn't come pick it up, they disposed of it. Correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, how did it come about that you and your daughter went to live with them?
I was going through some personal problems at the time, and Michelle and I had become really good friends, and I told her I had to move out of my apartment, and she said, well, you can come stay with me, your daughter, and you can come stay with us. You don't have to worry about anything, you know, just come and stay with us for a little while until you get up and off on your feet again.
That sounds like a very nice thing. She sounds like a lovely person. Mm-hmm. And so when did you move in with them?
It was the first weekend of July.
Okay. You moved with your daughter. Did you come with any furniture or just your personalty?
Everything that I owned that was in my two-bedroom apartment went with me. I had told Michelle beforehand.
You mean she had no furniture?
Well, she had furniture in her house too, but we had one of the rooms of the apartment that she was staying at, so most of my stuff went in there, and then in the kitchen where they did not have a table and stuff, that's where my couch went.
They're really nice people. Okay, what happened?
There was a misunderstanding one day where we were, according to Michelle, inconsiderate of her feelings.
Like?
Well, her mom was missing one morning, and nobody could find her. And Wayne, Lois, and I were sitting in the living room. And
Who's
to kind of
Wayne?
Lighten the mood.
Who's Wayne?
Wayne is the other defendant. To lighten the mood, Wayne and I decided to tell Lois about this incident the night before that Michelle had bent over to pick up something and kind of fell, and we were kind of laughing about it. And she felt that we were being insensitive to the fact that her mother was missing.
So?
She asked us to leave, that we could stay the weekend if we needed to, and that she wanted us out.
Go ahead.
I told her that I was currently on unemployment at the time, so I was waiting for my unemployment check to come to me. I told her I needed some time, and she said that was no problem.
Okay.
On the 16th, I received my unemployment check in the mail. I went and I got a U-Haul truck and I got my storage area, which I have all receipts for. I told her that I would be there the following morning at 11:30, that if anything should change by that, I would give her a call. Unfortunately, that morning, my mother was admitted for pneumonia in the hospital, which I have documentation of, and I did not get out of that out of the hospital until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I called her at work at about 3:30 and told her what was going on and that I would be there tomorrow at 11:30, and she said fine. About an hour later, she called me back and said that her and Wayne had something to do and that they wouldn't be back at the apartment until around 1:30. So I told her, fine, I'll be there between 1 and 1:30. So as far as I was concerned...
On the 18th?
On the 18th, that I would be there between 1 and 1:30. On the morning of the 18th at around 9:30, I received a voicemail message from the defendant, which I have a copy of on tape. So, and
which said?
Pretty much said that her mother had received 3 more threatening phone calls, her apartment manager received 4, and that I could get all my stuff out of the effing dumpster.
Okay. Now who's going to speak?
I will.
Good, thank you.
When everything happened where I asked them to leave, it was just like she said, you know, the thing happened with my mother there in the living room joking around. And I let them know that they had 1 week, exactly 7 days, to get them and their property out of my house.
Okay.
They left that day and came back, I believe, 2 days later and grabbed some clothes and stuff. After the week was up was when I started calling Heidi. Because she had called, and it was like, one day she told me, you know, oh, well, I'm waiting to get my check and it didn't come and da-da-da-da-da. And then I ended up having to, I was at my mom's for something. I can't remember exactly why, but the phone rings and I pick it up and the lady on the phone asked if I was Michelle's mother. And I said yes, because I didn't know who it was. So I just kind of went, yeah, who is this? And she goes, well, I was just letting you know, B, if you call my woman again.
I don't understand.
If I was letting you know, if you call my woman again, I'm going to F you up. And it was her girlfriend calling. I'd already had problems with it before, and I did know the voice when I heard it. And so I went home, and I called Heidi, and I asked her, you know, what is this with calling my mother's house? She was on the one with my mother's number, because my number, I'd called her to her cell phone from my mom's house. So
was somebody that you had lived with?
It's my significant other, ex now.
Was that the person that you moved out of that home because you were having difficulty?
Yes.
I was trying to help her. I thought her and her daughter get away from me.
Okay, go ahead.
she claimed, oh, I haven't even talked to, and she said something about, you know what, I'm sick of even dealing with you guys. You can just throw the out because I don't want it. I don't want to deal with you. And she started ranting and raving, so I hung up the phone.
And when was this? Do you have any idea what day this was?
The 12th. It was the day she was supposed to have her stuff out.
Okay.
And
what happened next?
The next morning, she called saying that she still hadn't gotten her check and da-da-da-da. And I was like, okay, last night you were screaming you didn't even want the stuff, and then today you called me calm, telling me that as soon as you get your check, you'll be there and all this stuff. So I left it alone. I was like, fine, just come get it when you can. When she still didn't come get it, there was 2 other phone calls where she had ran it. I don't want it, and I don't want to deal with you, and you guys can this and that, and just yelling. And so I left it alone. I ended up where I came home on the 16th or the 17th, I can't remember, and Wayne told me to check the machine because there was someone on the machine and he wasn't sure if it was Heidi or her girlfriend. Well, on the machine, it was a message from her saying, you know what, F you guys, I don't want to deal with you, I don't want to see you, throw this stuff out because I don't want it. And she repeated herself about 3 or 4 times. And
Do
I
you
know
have that message?
I erased it because I didn't think it was going to come to all this. Honestly, when I listened to the message, I wasn't going to throw it away. It was later on the 17th, I was at work and my mother called me. She said someone was calling her house threatening her. I asked her to look at her caller ID. She looked at it and she recited her cell phone number to me. So I called my play sister, a friend of mine, and I told her I'm leaving work early. You know what? I'm not going to have my mom being threatened. Let's just get her stuff out of my house. I've given her more than enough time. This was now the 17th of July. I told her on the 5th she had basically 5 days. So it was like I felt I'd given her enough time. She had on 3 or 4 different occasions said she'd come get it, then she'd say she didn't want it. So I didn't want to play with her anymore. I didn't want my family threatened like that. So my friend came over, I left work early, we threw her stuff out.
You think she had all this aggravation before you and your daughter moved in?
I do. I think she had it planned personally.
Had what planned?
Had to plan to throw some of my stuff away because I had told her before I moved in that I would get a storage area for my
No, Miss Gladys, listen to me. That doesn't, just think it through. You think she invited you into her home for the purpose of throwing away your stuff?
I don't think for throwing away. I don't think she threw away. I had a $2,000 entertainment center. I had a 27 color inch TV. I don't know anybody that would leave that stuff at their place. I had a bed. I had 2 beds there.
Just a second. Did you call Salvation Army?
I was going to until the threat to my mom was made.
Ms. Gladys, bottom line, she has no responsibility to keep your stuff in the house.
Right, but we had a verbal agreement for me to pick it up. She told me that I could, you know, she told me that I could keep my stuff there. I told her I was waiting for my check to come in the mail. Unfortunately, EDD took 10 days to get me my check.
She's not responsible for your bad fortune. My question to you is, do you think she had this grief in her life with threats to her mother?
I do think she had grief, but I was not responsible for those threats, ma'am.
You were...
I can't control somebody else who I'm not with. I haven't been with her. But she was riding in a
car when she was supposedly broke up with her.
No, I was not.
I mean, if I was doing it, I had to get my mother's number from her.
She couldn't have because I don't keep phone numbers on my phone.
Whatever. She had problems. She was trying to do the right thing. Miss Gladys, she is under no obligation to keep your property. She's not your mother.
I never said she was. She was supposed to be a friend, and friends don't do that.
She was a friend.
A friend throws your stuff away when you have a verbal agreement to be there at 11:30 in the morning.
I've said it, Miss Gladys. That's all. Your case is dismissed.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Edmund versus Athana Santos. Step forward, please.
Postal worker Tracy Edmund is suing tattoo artist Alex Athana Santos for the cost of a tattoo removal. Tracy says Alex botched a tattoo of her late mother.
Bird, don't get too comfortable.
This is going to be a quick one.
Yes. Miss Edmund, according to your complaint, the defendant is a tattoo artist.
Yes.
And you went to the defendant because you recently lost your mother?
Yes.
And you wanted a picture of your mother memorialized on your body?
Yes.
Ah. A picture on your dresser wouldn't have done?
It would have.
You're unhappy with the picture that he did, and you want him to pay thousands of dollars to have the picture removed. Is that right?
Yes.
First of all, do you want to show me the tattoo? Where is it, on your arm?
Yes.
Could you step up here? Okay. And I see you've had tattoos before.
Yes.
So that's not... How many tattoos do you have altogether?
7.
7. Had you ever done work for her before?
No.
Did he come recommended to you?
Yes.
But I'm going to get to your complaint. You said everything was going fine until you saw him light up a joint and start to smoke a joint.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Did you get up and leave?
No, because it was almost half done.
Almost half done is not done. Now, according to what I read in your complaint, you said everything was going fine, right?
Yes.
And he was doing a good job, right?
Yes.
Until he started to smoke a joint.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at that point, you get up and leave, and you said, listen, when you're finished, I'll come back tomorrow. Why didn't you do that?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, how should I know? If somebody is doing brain surgery, and they seem to be doing okay.
How do you know?
And right in the middle of the brain surgery, they say, do me a favor, would you give me a double vodka?
I'll take one.
Quiet. Sorry. That's the time you say, listen, we'll finish this surgery another time. Or get somebody else to close me up. Or something. You don't sit there and hope for the best and then say, well, he was smoking a joint and clearly he wasn't doing the right thing, so I sat there like a jerk and let him finish, because then he wasn't doing a good job anymore, and then complain that it doesn't look like your mother. Anything else you want to tell me?
No, listen to you.
Perfect. Anything else you want to tell me?
I have nothing to say.
Good! See what I mean? Case dismissed.
This is case number 240 on the calendar in the matter of Noraki versus Scanlon. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Ms. Noraki, you are a daycare provider.
Yes.
And you were hired by the defendant to take care of one child, a boy.
Correct.
And it is your claim that when she removed her child from your daycare facility, under the circumstances described here, which you're going to explain to me in a minute, she filed a complaint against you with the state, causing you to lose business, and that the complaint that she filed was really slanderous and not true.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes.
Ms. Scanlon says she had every reason to file the complaint that she did, that she has witnessed things in your daycare center that were inappropriate, and that the way you acted with regard to her child was also inappropriate, right? When did you enroll your child in her facility?
I enrolled my son Robert the beginning of June of 2002.
For how many days a week?
3 days.
And how old is Robert?
He was at the time 20 months.
How did you find the plaintiff?
I called up a Suffolk County Child Care Council, and they referred me a bunch of names on a list, which I checked out a few names. Loretta's name was on the list, and I went to her house and interviewed her, and that's how I found her.
She takes care of children in her house?
Yes.
And you're a working mom?
Yes.
When did the problem occur?
Actually, I never had a problem with Lori, the way she ran her daycare. My son went right into her arms when I dropped him off, so I knew that he liked her. The only problem I had was when it came to money, and the problem started the week of her birthday. Her birthday was the day before the 4th of July, where she did inform me that she was taking that day off, that I would have to find somebody to watch my son. And when I dropped him off that day, I paid her for 2 out of the 3 days of the week.
You mean the day that Robert would actually be there?
I paid her for.
And July 4th, which was a holiday.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes.
Why?
It's in my contracts.
Let me see. I want to see the signed one that she signed.
She never gave it to me.
I never
then you don't
signed
have it.
No.
Then you don't have it. So you don't have a contract with her.
No. She,
Shh, just a second. Second of all, paragraph 7 of this is inconsistent. And I'm going to tell you why it's inconsistent, because it says the provider, that's you, will be paid for the following holidays. And you have Memorial Day, Labor Day, Thanksgiving Day, and the day after, Christmas Day and the day after, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. But you also have July 3rd and 4th. In what almanac is July 3rd a holiday?
It's not. It's the holidays I take.
Well, you know, you'd expect to be paid for those days.
Yes. When we sit down, when she came and I interviewed her, we go over this step by step.
I don't have a contract that she signed.
She made them for me.
And I want to tell you
She
something.
printed them up on her
That's the
computer.
dumbest thing that I ever heard, that your birthday is a paid holiday for a part-time worker. I mean, I have a son who thinks that his birthday is a national holiday. But, you know, I mean, we sort of joke about it. All right, so what happened when you left? You were very nice. You paid her $100 for 2 days, and your son was only going to be there 1 day that week, so that was very nice of you. She called and she said, you didn't give me enough money.
Yeah, she called me screaming. She was very upset. She told me that none of her other parents give her problems like I do. Who am I to pay her when I feel like paying her? And she told me to come and pick my son up now.
So what did you do?
I called my mother because I couldn't leave my job at the time, and my mom immediately went over to pick up Robert.
That's not true at all.
Well, tell me what happened. You called her.
And I told her, before this, we've already had a discussion about money.
Why?
I get
What kind of
paid
a discussion?
A week before this, my husband was in the house, and she told me, Lori, do I have to pay you for your vacation in August? I said, yes, I get paid for my vacation in August. I've been doing this for 13 years. I've never had a parent argue with me over my vacation times. Everybody gets a vacation. I'm entitled to a vacation.
Not you.
Well,
You're not. You don't run a daycare service. You don't run a business. You take care of children in your home.
Yes, I do.
There's a difference. If you had a nursery school and you wanted to go away on vacation and you had other people working for you who were going to cover these children for the 2 or 3 days a week that they were there, that's fine. That's not what you do. When you're not taking care of them in your house and they're still working, they have to hire somebody else to take care of their children, so they're paying twice.
This is how
This is
how
what
I've
kind
run
of
it.
this is?
This is how I've run it for 13 years. I've never had a problem.
Well,
I've
now
never
you had a
problem.
problem.
Argue with me. I'm not suing her for the contract.
Now you have a problem.
Yes, I do. A big problem.
Because instead of waiting for her to come home to pick up her child that day, you were angry enough to call her at work.
Yes.
Now, if I were a parent and I had a 20-month-old baby that you were watching that day, and you couldn't control yourself sufficiently to wait until she came home to pick up her child and say, look, let's sit down and talk about this, but was so angry that you called her at work, even if you didn't tell her to come and pick up her baby, I would have come and picked up my baby. I would have been there in a second. I would have said, I'm not leaving my baby with her. She's mad at me. I don't know if she's going to take this out on my baby or not. She can't control herself sufficiently to wait till I get home. I'm not taking a chance. Now, we don't have a contract. She gave you an extra day's pay that you weren't entitled to for July 4th, but she was a nice person. You wanted your birthday, too. As far as I'm concerned, you wouldn't get it. Is that what you called the state about?
No, what I called the state about was how she reacted when my mother came to pick up my son and asked for my $100 back because she did not supply the service to me that I paid her for. I paid her at the beginning of the week to watch him for that day and for the holiday. So when my mother went to pick him up, she was standing at the door with him in her arms and the diaper bag, and my mother said to her, my daughter would like her $100 back.
Is that what she said to you?
Absolutely not.
What
First
happened?
of all,
Well, your mother's
up,
not here, so she can tell me.
Okay, first of all, she came up to my house fuming, banged on my door like she was going to knock it down. Walked into my house, told me to give her grandson. I said, he's all packed up, he's ready to go. I was just about to say, you know what, tell Stephanie to call me when she gets home. This is getting out of hand, this is ridiculous. For $50, this is ridiculous. When she called me an effing, she said, give me my daughter's $100, cursing. I said, let me tell you something, I have kids here, my daughters are here. She goes, yeah, I have cops in my family, you better keep an eye on those girls, meaning my daughters. Now I got frantic. I said, you know what, you need to leave. She goes, I'll leave when I'm ready to leave. I said, you need to leave now. I picked up the phone to call the police. She walked out of the house. Next thing I know, the state is at my door.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She also said that I pushed her mother down the stairs with her son in her arms.
From what my mother told me, she was a raving lunatic.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Daycare provider Loretta Naraki says former client Stephanie Scanlon filed false charges with social services. Stephanie says she only told the truth.
Go ahead.
She didn't say about the money. She didn't say any of that. She said I was mistreating the kids.
Let me see the report.
She said I had people watch.
Just a second. Ms. Scanlon, did you report the plaintiff for anything other than what happened with your mother?
Absolutely.
Well, then what did you say?
Well, what I said was that in the few weeks that Robert was in her care, there were more than 2 children under the age of 2. In New York State, including your own child, you're not allowed to watch more than 2 at a time. So she had her child, Jaylin, who was under 2, another child, who I won't say his name, and then my son Robert made the 3rd. So she was breaking the law right there.
Is that correct?
No, it's not correct. I watched 2 children under the age of 2. My daughter turned 2 in June.
When did you see more than 2
I saw
children?
Max and Tony 3 days a week.
Who's Max?
The 2 children, the brothers.
That's good. I didn't watch a child named Max.
Okay.
At all.
Well, I assume that they investigated that.
Yes,
what
they
else
did.
did you tell them?
And the second thing that I spoke to them about was there were a few times when I picked up my son or when I tried to call there that Lori wasn't there. The first time being on Robert's 2nd day, I called to see how he was adjusting, and Lori's husband answered the phone. And I said, oh, well, where's Lori? And he said, oh, she just dropped Nicholas off at school. I had called another time when her sister was in town, and her niece Sammy answered the phone, and Sammy said, oh, she's at the diner with her sister.
Okay, and I have a letter that Sam is allowed to work when I am not in the household. She's been fingerprinted, and she is also one of my workers. So she is allowed to be in the house anytime I am not in the house.
Yeah, but I pay you. I don't pay Sam.
It says in the contracts. If
Well,
I'm
I don't
not there.
contract.
Well,
nothing.
you made them. You made the contracts to me.
Don't talk to each other.
Everybody in my household over the age of 18 has been fingerprinted and is allowed to be in the household with the children when I am not there.
Okay. Go ahead. What else?
Well, that was it. Those were the 2 things that I called.
She also said that I pushed her mother down the stairs with her son in her arms.
Well,
now,
that
I
doesn't
couldn't
say
get
that
this
here.
report. I know, I couldn't get this report because I had to write to Albany for it. They called Stephanie and asked her if she would release it, and she said no.
All I can tell you is I assume that all of these things were marked unfounded.
Unfounded.
Okay.
But when you call the child care council and ask for a referral, they will give you my name, and in this letter I'll show you that they have to, by state law, tell you that a file was claimed against, filed against me. I normally, in the month of June and in the month of August and September, interview 7 to 10 people for new slots opening up. I did not get 1 phone call over the summer. So my daycare is going to go down the drain because the way life is now, I would not leave my daughters with somebody, even if it was unfounded, I would not leave my daughters with somebody where a claim was filed against them. So I had to enroll myself, now taking away more time from my children, in school to take up another occupation because now I have to go to work.
Now, if I'm leaving the children with you, my baby with you, unless I am on actual notice that they will be taken care of by someone else.
Which I tell them every morning when they drop the child off.
Just a second. No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't.
Well, I have
Because
letters from all my other
this
parents.
This is clearly somebody who would have said, well, I'd like to meet your husband. I'd like to meet
She did.
Samantha.
She did.
I'd like to meet your husband. I'd like to meet Samantha if they're going to be taking care of my child. Did she tell you that other people would be taking care of your child?
Not taken care of. She did say that she had a helper that came in to help her, and every once in a while she would step out.
I did. And I introduced
every
her to my
once in a
husband
while.
and Samantha.
But I have a list of 4 or 5 times in the 3-week period where she wasn't there, and that just wasn't acceptable to me.
Then you shouldn't have dropped him off that Tuesday morning. But you did because you continually told me how happy he was in my house.
And he was.
All right.
Now, that's what you said. Then my question to you is, if that's true, and that's what you said to me initially, Miss Scanlon, that your son went to her and but for this money problem that you seem to have with her, and I'm not saying that's without justification, I think that you were justified, but for that problem, you said your son was happy. So why did you register these complaints against her when your real problem was with money?
Well, when my mother went to go pick up my son, from what my mother told me, she was a raving lunatic. She did not push my mother down the stairs, and I never said that. She pushed my mother, and my mother lost her balance. But you don't shove a woman, an elderly woman who has a child in her hands,
Well, I don't know if that happened. Is that what your mother told you?
That's what my mother told me.
Fine. So let's say you reported that.
Right. She
Why the other things?
She was acting crazy. She ran out to my mother's truck because my son had...
That had to do with your mother.
Okay.
Forget that.
All right.
The complaints that you made had to do with inadequate care.
Right.
So why did you throw that in as frosting on the cake?
Well, again, because of what my mother told me, how she acted. And
you didn't say that. You said, you talked about the fact that she wasn't there, that there was somebody by the name of Samantha who was there. Did you say anything about that there weren't proper railings or barriers from one floor to another?
No.
You talked about alternative providers, that you talked about. And you talked about the number of children she had that she was watching?
Yeah.
Okay, but none of that seemed to be a problem to you before the incident with your mother. So forget that, the incident with your mother. You talked about other things, and what I'm asking you is, why?
I didn't think she was fit to watch my child at that point.
Because?
She called for $50. She called me up.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Right.
There's no issue about that. I'm just asking you why you threw in these other things.
To be malicious.
I was upset.
But you ruined my life.
Just a second. Just a second. You were upset. That's honest.
Mm-hmm.
So that was frosting on the cake because you were upset. She had a perfect right to call up to complain about the incident with the money. In all probability, there would have been a complaint generated as a result of that incident anyway. But there would not have been any of this other stuff that I believe you did maliciously. And I think that that's wrong. Now, I don't know whether you can say because you did that, she lost business, because certainly I have inadequate proof of that. But certainly, there has to be a consequence, Ms. Scanlon, of attacking someone in their business or profession when you get agitated. And that's what happened. You were angry. And I'm not faulting you at all with calling and reporting. Now, I don't know.
I also have a check here she wrote me. I lost it. I found it while going through everything, and I was afraid to cash it because I was afraid she'd have me arrested or something.
Let me see.
She was off the walls, running crazy as it was. I didn't want to add insult to injury.
Well, she insisted on cash.
Yes, that's what it says in her...
And the first week of his care, I gave him a check, and she said, no, 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 I want cash.
Yes.
So I said, okay, fine, you know what, I'll bring you cash. And I put a stop payment on the check. Yeah, that week was paid for.
I'm sure it was paid for.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was paid for. Because if it wasn't paid for, and this was in June, she would have been on your back. That's what happened.
No, it's not what happened.
Oh, you want to tell me your version of what happened?
Yes, I lost the check. I lost it. Was I going to, tell her, write me another check? I lost the check. It was only the middle of June. She did all this July 3rd, July 2nd.
Did she pay you by cash every other time?
Every other time.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I figured I'd find the check and cash it. All right. I don't take care of other people's children. I love what I do. I do it for a reason, to support my kids. If I get no other business coming in, the children I have now will be going to kindergarten in September. So I've just lost an entire business. I worked 13 years to get the reputation. I have letters from every single parent I worked for.
Then those parents should be able to
refer me.
Refer people to you.
Absolutely.
And Ms. Scanlon, I believe that Ms. Scanlon has to understand that she has to be much more careful. She has an absolute right to, if she has pure motives, and her motives were pure, to call up and say, she reacted very, very badly when we had a dispute over money. She reacted unprofessionally. I want to report her unprofessional behavior. But I believe that with regard to the other complaints that she made about you, they were made with a malicious intent. And for that, I am awarding you $1,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. This is case number 80. This is case number 162 on the calendar in the matter of Troush versus Barton. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks have seats.
All right, you two ladies used to be friends, neighbors, now you're enemies. Each one of you claimed that the other is harassing the other. You also, Ms. Troush, claimed that the defendant either stole or took your lawnmower. Ms. Barton says that in addition to the harassment, you filed a complaint against her, criminal complaint, which caused her name to be circulated in the paper, and were you arrested?
Yes, I was, Your Honor.
She was arrested. It was embarrassing, and it was all done out of a vindictiveness. How long have you known each other?
For several years, Your Honor.
Before you became neighbors?
No, we had lived there, and then her and her husband and family moved in.
And you became friends?
Yes.
For years?
Yes.
So what caused the problem?
Well, I decided to break off the friendship.
Why?
She had done numerous things in the past that morally I didn't agree with, and it just led up to a point where one day when I walked up to her door, I heard her and her live-in friend Rita talking about me behind my back, and I just thought that was the last straw.
Okay. When was that?
Somewhere around November of last year.
Okay. Now, Ms. Barton, why do you think that this relationship went sour?
Okay, we were friends for a period of time, and then there was an incident with my neighbor where she called the police and told the police that my neighbor
Who's she?
Jeanette, had told the police that my neighbor had threatened to beat her up. The police came to my door. My daughter and my son were outside playing at the time. My daughter didn't hear him threaten her, and neither did I. I wasn't even outside. Well, the police came and they asked me if I had heard him threaten her. I told the officer, no, I did not, because I wasn't outside. She got upset with me. After the police left...
Well, how did she know that you had had that discussion with the police officer?
She was standing outside. We lived directly across from each other.
What did she say?
After the officer left, I went over there and I was talking to her, and she's like, don't talk to me, and I can't believe that you wouldn't stick up for me. We've been friends for so long. And I told her, Jeanette, I didn't hear him threaten you, and I wasn't going to lie to the officer. Well, your daughter was standing up.
When was that? Was that in November? Was that in November, Ms. Troush?
I don't know when it was, Your Honor. She's talking about my neighbor, Robert.
I have the police report.
Oh, let me see the police report. Maybe that'll
And
give
I
us...
have also the newspaper I was in.
I don't need that yet. I'm trying to figure out when all this trouble started and why.
Okay,
and whether the court should be involved with it, or you should take care of it yourselves.
That same day, she accused him of loosening nuts on her.
You say it was November of 2001. This is October of 2001. So it came around the same time.
Yeah.
That's when you stopped being friends.
No,
now,
I don't even know, what she's talking about. I had called the police on that neighbor so many times for playing his music out in front.
Well, this was a nuts and bolts incident, madam, in October of 2001.
That same night, she put a sign in her window. She made up a sign and it said, "Help me, someone is trying to kill me." It was there for 3 days. The co-ops that I live in made her take it down.
So then you became enemies. Now you say that there's been a problem with a lawnmower and harassment. I'll hear you, Ms. Troush, and you have 60 seconds or less to tell me all about this childishness.
Okay. On March 14th, she was yelling out the window. When I got out of my car, she said the BIT filed a complaint against me. She encouraged people in her home to say things to me like, what a BIT. Again, on Saturday, April 13th, Maureen was yelling out the window to me as I walked from the car to the house, and that's what she usually starts yelling and cursing at me the minute I get out of the car and start walking to the house. And then Tuesday, May 21st, again. And then on Thursday, May 23rd, I just couldn't take it anymore because she said, you're going to be hurting. I'm going to get you. You're going to get yours. You can't watch your car 24 hours a day. You won't get away with filing a false police report.
And this was May?
And that was May 23rd.
Oh, okay.
And I have a police report and a witness. Another neighbor was outside and heard.
Okay. So she's saying not nice things to you.
Right.
You don't get compensated for that. Tell me about the lawnmower.
Well, what happened is right after May 23rd, and I had filed the complaint with the police, the very next weekend...
What did you file a complaint with the police about?
Because she said she's going to get me, and she's going to do something to our car. And
No. Listen to me.
Okay.
Don't make things up as you go along. You said that she said she was going to do something to you as a result of you filing a false police report about her.
Right.
When did you file the police report?
I didn't, and she didn't even know I didn't file a police report. I had called the police.
Okay.
I called the police.
When did you call the police?
I
What
called
date?
the police Tuesday, May 21st. Her and one of her friends was having a fight in our street, and they were yelling back and forth at each other, and it was really early in the morning, I think 2 a.m., and So I called the police, and somebody, the driver of the vehicle, threw a mug and broke it on our street and then peeled out of there. And that's why I had called the police. And that's what she was angry about.
Okay. What report did you make to the police? Can I see the police report? Because she must have
That is
it.
not true what she just said. This is what happened because the police came to my house. On the next page, it tells you what they found.
So you filed a police report. You made a complaint on the 21st of May. I want to hear about the lawnmower.
Okay, after I had made the complaint on May 23rd, the very next week, our lawnmower was stolen.
Yes?
And I'm just saying, it seemed pretty coincidental.
Okay. That's it? That's your side?
Well, there's more, Your Honor. I mean, Maureen knows that I'm a cancer patient and that I have a lot of stress already dealing with my cancer, but yet she continually goes outside and verbally just yells at me. She shouts at the top of her lungs all these bad things to me. Here's a statement from my neighbor.
Joe, I don't read statements from neighbors.
And my husband was there, and he heard her, and he knows how many times he's come home, and I've told him how she does this to me.
That's not nice. It doesn't come under the category of being actionable in court. She says not nice things to you. Courts don't get involved with that. And I certainly don't get involved with that.
We had our lug nuts loosened 3 times. So
you seem to have a lot of trouble with a lot of neighbors.
No, we don't.
Well, you had trouble with this neighbor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I've lived in many neighborhoods and had a lot of neighbors. I have never called the police on a neighbor. Never.
And later today.
Why did you cause this damage to the apartment?
It wasn't intentional damage.
Yes, of course it was. Did somebody drug you?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jeanette Troush says neighbor Maureen Barton owes for a stolen lawnmower and for nonstop verbal assaults. Maureen says Jeanette had her falsely arrested.
Now, you said that you called the police on this neighbor several times for loud music, for touching your car, for lug nuts. I mean, that's all in here. So you seem to have problems with a lot of your neighbors.
Only them 2, and it's mostly
Just
Maureen.
a minute. The neighbor that you initially called a police report in on, where the police asked her about the alleged threats, was that this 21-year-old boy or a different neighbor?
It would have been Robert. Yeah.
Not a different neighbor?
No.
Okay.
Robert lives right next to Maureen.
Okay. All right, Miss Barton, why don't you tell me about your counterclaim?
Okay, June 21st, I was sitting on my porch, and I was with my daughter and my son. Jeanette was getting out of her car with her husband. They were walking, because she lives directly across from me. Okay, as they were walking to their car, I had coughed. Well, Jeanette turned around and she looked at me and she said, "Why don't you shut up?" And I told her, "No, why don't you shut up and leave me alone?" That's when her husband, Joe, turned around and started flipping us the finger.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He was flipping the finger. Okay, they went into the house, and 2 days later, an officer came to my door, and my husband was home. I wasn't. They asked me to come in because they had to ask me some questions. So I went into the police department. I then proceeded to get arrested for a verbal assault that she had claimed that I made against her. She had told the officer that she had a witness that heard me say that I was going to beat her up, I was going to ruin her car, she was going to get hers, which I never made those statements, but she claimed I did. They arrested me. I went to court, and they dropped the charges in court. My name was published in the newspaper for this arrest, for everybody to see. I didn't do none of this stuff to her. And this is ongoing. It's every day. It's like she'll call the police, and if she doesn't get the results she wants, she goes for something bigger. And I just want this to stop.
Rana, I'd like to say the same thing.
How many times has the defendant called the police with regard to your actions?
How many times has Maureen called the police on me?
Yes.
Never, I don't think.
Never. How many times have you called the police with regard to her or any other neighbor? More than 5?
Definitely more than 5.
More than 10?
May I?
No, just answer my question. More than 10?
I wouldn't say more than 10, Your Honor.
Would you say 10?
I'd say it's getting close to 10.
All right. How old are you?
35.
35. I am several decades your senior, and I've lived in many neighborhoods and had a lot of neighbors.
Sure.
I have never called the police on a neighbor. Never. Had some I liked, I have some I didn't like, I have some that played music loud, I have some that played music I didn't like loud. I'd never called the police on a neighbor.
I understand.
Well, if you want to live someplace and not be bothered by other people, and if you have certain physical problems and you want to live stress-free, go build a cabin in the country.
I understand that.
Listen to me. Go build a cabin where you have no other neighbors. Police have other things to do other than to respond to your, for want of a better word, mishigas, which means your craziness. You got to stop that. Harassment has as its core not somebody saying bad things to a former friend. And I believe her when she says that you were annoyed with her because you had made a complaint against this neighbor. The police came to her, asked her whether she could validate your complaint. She said no, and you got angry. That's exactly how this started. Now, you may have then heard conversations about you, which made you madder, but that's how this problem started. You don't get compensated for that. And this lawnmower baloney that you threw in here, you have no idea who stole your lawnmower a week later? None whatsoever. Why would you even accuse her of doing something when you have absolutely no proof? None. Did you file a formal complaint against her or anyone of her family with regard to the lawnmower?
I did make a report about it, and I did.
You made a report about it. In the police report, did you say that you think you knew who took your lawnmower?
I said it could have been a possibility.
What could have been a possibility?
That my neighbor Maureen, because we were having problems.
That's your problem. You get nothing. However, I believe that filing these charges which caused her arrest were vindictive. And it caused her name to be published in the paper. And it caused an arrest. How many times have you been arrested, Miss Barton? How many times
twice.
altogether? Twice. For this and what else?
Prior, there was a dispute. It was me and my husband. It was my husband, but then they dropped the charges, and he's the one that...
It was a domestic dispute between you and your husband. Other than the domestic dispute between you and your husband, have you ever been arrested for anything else?
No.
So it's embarrassing. You have children? Judgment on the counterclaim for the defendant in the amount of $2,500. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties
Claim
are
is
excused.
dismissed.
You may step out.
We did so many favors for her, and she just used us until she couldn't use us anymore.
Judge Judy saw through the lies. She saw what was really going on, and it spoke for itself.
Yeah, this is case number 112 on the calendar in the matter of Moore versus Hightower.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat.
Miss Moore, you and the defendant had dated, and according to your complaint, you made loans to him.
Right.
One large loan for his mortgage, and then some small loans for credit card charges. Mr. Hightower indicates that you did pay this money, but there was never a loan agreement and never an agreement to repay you. Is that right, sir?
Yes, sir.
When did you start to date the defendant?
Several months after my son was murdered.
When was that?
March of 2000. Probably about 3 or 4 months after that.
What was the first loan for and when?
In July of 2000, Donald showed me a letter that, the mortgage company had wrote, which showed that they were going to foreclose on his house.
I'd like to see the letter. Now, where were you when he showed you that letter?
At his house.
Were you living with him at the time?
No.
I want you to tell me the exact scenario that came about when he showed you this letter.
Can I kind of tell you what led up to this, my frame of mind? Yeah.
No. I don't want to know about your frame of mind. What I want to know about is the conversation, where you were. It's clear if you were dating him, then you liked him.
Right.
Also, based upon what you told me, what happened to your son in March, you were vulnerable, you were feeling slightly depressed. I understand that. However, this is still a situation where we have to deal with whether this was a loan or not a loan.
Okay.
So I want you to tell me where you were seated in the house, what the conversation was that led up to him showing you this letter.
Okay. I was sitting in the lazy boy chair, and you know, he had all his bills right there, and he showed me the letter.
I mean, he just took this letter and said,
well,
take a look at this?
Everything was sitting right there, and he showed me this letter, because we were talking about how he couldn't, you know, afford to, you know, take me out to dinner, and, you know, he felt bad about it.
It was in that context that he showed you this letter, I can't afford to go out to dinner or whatever because I have all these bills.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I had a lot of money at the time because of the life insurance policy from my son's death. And I felt really bad, you know, because, I mean, he has these two wonderful children. One, she has Down syndrome, and she is a sweetheart. I mean, she's just so full of life. And I just couldn't see these children, you know, August 4th, they were going to foreclose on the house, and where were they going to go? I felt terrible. And I'm trying to be a fixer-upper. I was trying to help him fix the situation. I know that I get a lot of money back from my taxes just claiming one child. So I knew when he gets his taxes back, I mean, he'll get $3,000 or $4,000, probably more than I do. And in order for me to negotiate with this Equicorp, you know, place, I called, you know, them up and I said, well, what can we do to get this, you know, straightened out? And they said, well, this amount of money needs to be mailed. So in order to, you know, get him above water, I went and paid $4,500 towards it.
You have proof of that?
Yes, I do. This is a copy of the money order and the original.
Okay. Now after that, what did he say to you?
I'm trying to remember. This was a couple of years ago.
Well, you have to remember.
Your Honor, may I answer that?
No, not yet.
Well, he told me that he had other bills, and that wasn't really going to get him out of, you know, hot water because he was behind on all these credit cards. I mean, he had the banks, you know, calling him constantly. He didn't like to answer the phone because of that. He said, well, I can't pay you back right away. And I said, I know. I said, I don't need the money right now. I have the money right now. I said, but, you know, when you get your taxes back, I mean, just go ahead, you know, and give me some money. And you don't have to give me the whole thing. I said, you know, the next year, which was this year right here, give me the rest of the money, and that'll be that. And I said, you don't even have to pay me back the whole thing. It was over $7,000 is what it was. And I said, well, you know, if you'll just make sure you pay me, I'll accept the $4,000.
So you agreed that he would pay you back $4,000?
Not at that time. This was later.
So at that time you didn't talk about him repaying you the money?
Oh, we did. We did, you know, with his taxes, but we didn't negotiate a figure.
Okay. Well, when did you negotiate a figure?
February. I had wrote a letter to him, February 5th, which is right about tax time.
Could I see the letter, please?
And I was like, something was better than nothing.
Would you show this letter to the defendant, please? You recall receiving that letter, Mr. Hightower?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Good, thank you. When you received that letter, Mr. Hightower, what did you do?
I read it.
And after you read it, what did you do with it?
Tore it up and throw it in the trash.
Why?
Because when she did this, I told her not to do it because at the time, I was going through the separation and divorce, also going through a custody hearing. I told her that I not know when I'd ever be able to pay her back.
Are you still living in the house that she...
No, ma'am.
Who got the house?
It's been put on a lot for sale now. I moved out the end of February of this year.
Why?
They foreclosed on it in December.
How many months did you live there after summer of 2000?
I moved out of it February of 2002 of this year.
Oh, so her money helped you stay in that home?
I guess, but also too my
What do
lawyer.
you mean you guess?
My lawyer also helped. My attorney knew what was going on. My
You had a
attorney
lawyer?
helped me. Yes, ma'am. When I was going
Lawyer
through
for the custody case?
custody,
And the
separation, and
divorce?
divorce, yes.
Did you pay your lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
How much did you pay your lawyer?
$1,500.
Do you still owe your lawyer?
No, ma'am.
So you took this letter and you threw it in the garbage?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a lot of nerve. You mean you didn't even answer her?
Ma'am, also, too, you got to realize a lot of things going on with her. One time she broke in my house just to show her brother my home through the kitchen and come back bragging about it.
So what?
The next time she went through my mail, took a credit card out of my mailbox.
Stop complaining. I'm asking you a question, sir. You get this letter, you don't respond to it, you take it and you throw it in the garbage. And then what you do is you justify those actions by little petty irritations. I'm asking you, if you couldn't give her back any money, and she clearly expected money over a year ago, why didn't you call her or write her a letter and say, I'm really suffering financially right now?
She knew I was.
How did she know?
She knew how I was.
What do you mean she knew? Were you in communication with her?
She knew that I was trying to raise 2 kids by myself.
Did you get custody of your children?
Yes, ma'am.
Then I suggest that you try to teach your children, Mr. Hightower, what being a person of good character is. You know, just because you're a warm body doesn't mean you're a father. Anything can be a father. Dogs are fathers, cats are fathers, fish are fathers. In order to be a father, a human being father, you're supposed to try to teach your children to have a good moral character. Somebody was nice to you. And what you do is you take the letter, you throw it in the garbage without even a response?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You think there's a difference between going through a separation and a divorce and having one of your children suddenly taken from you?
Both of them are very emotional.
One you can cure, one you can't.
And later today,
I was not that close to her. She sped up to go around me.
She's trying to get away from you. If she sped up, she would have hit you straight on. Duh.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Patty Lynn Moore says ex-boyfriend Donald Hightower owes for a loan to keep his home out of foreclosure. Donald says he told Patty Lynn he could never pay her back.
After you loaned him this money, Ms. Moore, how long after that did you stop seeing him socially?
Almost immediately.
And who terminated the relationship?
He did.
Tell me about it.
He didn't see that there was any, he didn't think that we would be able to have a relationship at the time. I was drinking some at the time. No excuse, but...
That's honest.
Alcohol is no place in any relationship, nor is it in anybody's life. It's like a disease. It just ruins.
Are you okay now?
Yeah, as far as the drinking, like I said, just bringing up this emotional stuff, I don't think, you don't ever get over the grieving, I mean, you deal with it, through grievance counseling, but you don't never get over the loss of a child. And How
old was your son?
22. I got the newspaper article.
Mr. Hightower.
Yes, ma'am.
How many children did Miss Moore have?
She had her daughter and her son that she told me about.
And she told you about the son as soon as you met her?
Yes, ma'am.
So you knew that shortly before this business with your home, she had suffered a loss and she had some money.
I didn't know she had any money. I never asked her.
Fine. So let's say you didn't know she had any money, but you knew she had suffered a loss.
Yes, ma'am, and I was sorry that happened.
And you were going through a great deal of turmoil in your life.
Yes, ma'am.
But none of your children died.
No, ma'am.
You think there's a difference between going through a separation and a divorce and having one of your children suddenly taken from you? You think there's a difference? You think there's a difference?
Both of them are very emotional.
Yeah. One you can cure, one you can't. And what I find most obnoxious about your behavior, sir, is that you didn't even bother to respond to this letter. You read it, you tore it up, and you threw it in the garbage because you were going through a great deal of stuff on your own. That's what you told me. Good character is what you're supposed to teach your children. If you don't have it, and they don't give classes for it, can't read a book on it, at least once in a while somebody is going to tell you when you have lousy character. You understand each other? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,400. Thank you, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She wants everybody to play her on her sympathy.
There's nothing in this world worse than losing a child.
She's just trying to rule people's lives with her own.
I have the right to grieve.
She was just trying to steal my identity.
I don't think he has any identity.
I best just get rid of him, get on with my life.
When a loser is a loser, you're a loser. Why would I want to take the identity of a loser?
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Messerman versus Johnson. Step forward, please.
Pet grooming business owner Linda Messerman is suing her neighbor, camera assistant Peter Johnson, for starting a fire in her kitchen.
Miss Messerman, really the defendant was a friend of yours because you asked him to house sit and pet sit for you when you were going on vacation or someplace out of town. He said he would be more than happy to do that. He would stay in your apartment. You were not paying him for that service. Is that correct so far?
Yes, correct.
Is that correct so far?
Yes.
He stayed in the apartment while he was there. He did some baking, caused a fire. He says because he didn't know that you had two ovens. One of the ovens you used for storage. And when he lit the other oven, both ovens went on. The other oven went up in flames, causing the fire.
Correct.
Right? And therefore it was an accident. and an accident that is partially her fault because she shouldn't have been using the oven for storage. Is that right?
Correct.
You had 2 ovens?
I had 2 ovens, Your Honor.
One of the ovens you used for storage?
Yes, for pots and pans only, and baked goods, because I never use my ovens. I'm a Jewish woman, I don't cook.
I understand that. But he's not Jewish, right?
Yes.
You are Jewish?
No, I'm not.
You're not Jewish?
I'm not Jewish.
So, you see, he thinks that people actually use ovens for things other than storage and filing.
Of course not.
You know that that's ridiculous.
Right. Of course it is.
Tell me about the fire, Mr. Johnson.
I was getting ready to make some cookies and turned on the oven and walked away, and about 2 minutes later the alarm goes off, and I walk back there and I'm thinking I didn't have anything in this oven yet, and there's this other thing that's on fire, and I'm like, oh my God, I got an inferno going on. So it was like, I don't have anything to put this thing out with, so I have to call my brother. So luckily we live next door, and so he brings the fire extinguishers and we put the thing out, and basically that's it.
Can I see photographs of the kitchen, please?
Many, many. I have photographs of the walls, the soot, the carpets, the ovens. Just, it's a nightmare.
Okay. Listen, it's an accident. It's really an accident caused by cultural differences, cultural and religious differences, right?
Well, it was very obvious that it was a double oven. I mean...
What she said was absolutely right.
Unfortunately, yes.
It's an accident. He didn't mean to do it, right?
No, of course he didn't mean to, but it was a double oven, and he didn't notice.
He's at least partially responsible. You don't keep flammable stuff in an oven.
It's not flammables. It was pots and pans and stuff that I would use in the oven had I actually used the oven.
No. It had to be flammable because it caught on fire. Yeah. Therefore, it's flammable.
Correct.
So there is
I'm
stuff
assuming
here.
There's some plastic or something.
Plastic that caught on fire. Right, that didn't belong in an oven. Okay.
It's my mother's fault.
What I don't understand, Mr. Johnson, is that there are 2 ovens here, correct?
Correct.
You could have opened up the ovens and taken a look inside.
You know, I really didn't see
That's your fault that you didn't see it. One's on top of the other. It's not hiding.
Well, they didn't have like 2 knobs. I just saw the one, and I figured it was just one oven.
But that was a mistake.
Okay.
It was a mistake that contributed to this fire, right?
I guess.
You feel no responsibility whatsoever?
Well, I feel bad about it, and, you know, I truly do. I feel really bad, but it's like I didn't intend this to happen.
Your responsibility, you believe, is limited to how badly you feel.
No, I feel that I did a bad thing, but it wasn't, like I said, an intentional...
Absolutely not. And she also didn't intend to have the stuff that she was storing in the oven ignite and cause all this damage. It was stupid of her to keep stuff there that was flammable, and it was stupid of you to turn on an oven until you looked in both places and figured out what was in there. Now, Ms. Messerman.
Yes.
You have homeowners insurance?
Actually, my father had been telling me to get it and get it and get it, and I have not gotten it yet. I know.
Well, that's very foolish, Ms. Messerman.
I know.
Now, do you own or rent this apartment?
I rent.
What about the landlord? What is the landlord doing about your problem?
The landlord actually is a whole other story. I have lived there for 7 years, have never had a problem. Now
So
they
he's
want to
letting
evict
you-
me.
Yes.
They think I'm negligent. I had to hire an attorney to keep my home, which is still in progress right now because they're trying to get rid of me because of the fire, thinking that I'm such an idiot that I cause fires.
Well, you're such an idiot because you kept these files and stuff in your oven.
Yes.
They didn't understand this cultural thing.
Right. It's my mother's fault.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, that each of you are responsible for this problem. You, because you allowed a situation to exist in your home that was capable of causing a problem, and you, because you didn't look first. You understand?
Correct.
So you're suing for $3,000, and I'm giving you judgment for $1,500. The other part of it is your fault. Don't put flammables in an oven. You don't have to necessarily cook in an oven, but you don't put stuff in it.
Sure.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Case number 170 on.
That's all.
Case number 182 on the calendar in the matter of Hill versus Johnston.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Ms. Hill, it is your claim that the defendant was negligent in taking care of the cats that he was supposed to be sitting for while you were on vacation. You had vet bills, you wanted to pay for emotional distress, for damage done to your apartment, all to the tune of $5,000.
Yep.
Mr. Johnson says he did the best he could under the circumstances. When did you make this arrangement with Mr. Johnston to take care of your cats?
This would be probably in about July of last year.
And how many cats do you have?
At that time, I had 21.
21 cats, and how large a space?
I think the house is about 2,000 square feet.
And how did you know the defendant?
He was my boyfriend at the time, and actually he insisted on watching the cats. He was at my house almost every night, and he went through my feeding rituals and everything, and because he was my boyfriend, and we'd spoken about getting married or living together, it was just, that's what he wanted to do, and that was fine with me because we were...
Where were you going?
I was going to Connecticut to visit my relatives.
So this was voluntary on his part. You weren't paying him to do this. He was doing it because he cared about you.
Right.
Why don't you tell me why you think he is responsible for any damage and what the damage was in your house as a result of his caring for your cats?
Okay. When he came to the airport to pick me up in my car, which I had never given him permission to drive.
That's not true.
When I came home and I opened the door, I also have a dog. The dog was not very happy to see me. When I opened the door to the main part of the house, I didn't see any cats. There were no cats that would come out to see me, and I was concerned about that because they're very happy. They love me and I love them. Well, bit by bit, I came upon them, and after about an hour, I found one cat, and I didn't find all of them. It turns out 6 were missing. In the end count, 6 were gone. I found one, and something was wrong with its tail. And there was blood on it. And I said, "What happened to my cat?" He said, "I don't know. I don't know." So I went through the house, still, trying to find what happened, find them. And then he told me that one of them had died when I was gone. And I got very upset because I said, I was not told. Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you tell me, what happened? He said, "I just came home and it was dead." So I did at that point, I was very upset. I was actually getting hysterical. I didn't want him around. I wanted him to leave my house. I was screaming at him to leave the house. He wouldn't leave. Eventually what he did is to make me be quiet. He pushed me. I pushed away from him, wound up on the floor, and he was choking me, and he was cutting off my air supply. And he said that, I can't remember if he said he would break my neck or he would kill me if I didn't stop screaming. I couldn't get him to leave my house. I went into my living room and I locked the door, and I just stayed in there. I don't know I don't know if he slept in his van or what, but anyway, that was Saturday night, Sunday morning. The next day was Labor Day. I couldn't take the cat to the vet. The day after that, I take my cats. There are 2 cats. Both of these cats had been mutilated and abused, and I have pictures if you want to see them. There's a series of pictures. It's how they were before I left and what happened when I came back. They had to have several operations. One of them almost lost his leg. Several of the cats have had their teeth knocked out. I found this about...
Were the cats fighting with each other? Were they having cat fights?
He said that they were.
Shh, I'm asking you.
I have not seen... Oh, no, when I came back? No.
You have pictures of destruction in the house?
Yes.
You think that he destroyed things in your house?
Yes.
Let me tell you this. All right. I don't want you to be nutty about this. He didn't volunteer to take care of your cats to torture them. Something happened with your 21 cats and 1 dog when you were gone. But if you think that his intentions were to get you out of your house so that he could mutilate your 21 cats and dogs, that's demented. Do you understand?
Yes.
So you don't think he did that, right?
No, that was not.
So you think that something happened and things got totally out of control for him?
Yes.
Fair statement?
Yes.
That he bit off more cats than he could take care of. Right? And didn't know quite how to deal with it. I'm an animal lover, so I understand how hysterical you were when you came home. Was she hysterical, sir?
I wouldn't put it quite so mildly.
Mr. Johnson, you were the one who picked her. You were the one who volunteered to take care of 21 cats and a dog. I mean, you got to be a little bit bonkers to do that. That's a lot of responsibility, especially. I read your answer. You said a couple of these cats were crazy. They had to be kept in a room
one
separate from everybody else and be fed separate, And even the plaintiff talked about in her testimony her feeding ritual.
Yep.
Which is, you had a couple of cats that were a little more aggressive?
There's an order to who eats, so they make sure that
If they eat out of order, it's havoc.
It's havoc. Well, you know,
I
Miss
mean,
Hill.
I'm supposed to eat and all. You see, there's got 20 cats going at each other. It's,
You decided to assume the responsibility, Mr. Johnson.
I thought they were just little cats.
Mr. Johnson, you were there.
I know.
So you assumed the responsibility.
They're loving to her.
They weren't crazy about you.
Well, half of them were. The other half, oh my God.
Mr. Johnson, let me ask you this question. I don't want you to tell me everything that went on, because I have a few things after reading your answer. And, you know, we're not going to go on with this forever. I want to know, once you started to realize that you were over your head with this one, why didn't you call her in Connecticut and say you better come home?
Fear.
Fear of what?
Not following through with something that I had promised. We had talked about serious commitment and what goes along with that. And to be honest with you, I've never had a successful serious commitment in my life. And there's no way I was going to fail at this. That's why I insisted, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it right.
But you couldn't.
No, I couldn't.
But you realized that you couldn't early on, so that you have to call her and you have to say, I cannot.
We talked every day. She goes, how are the babies? And she's talking about the cats, like her children. Oh, they're fine.
So you lied to her.
Yeah.
So you
Otherwise, she's going to get on the plane, come down, and probably kill me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Either you did it on purpose or you did it because you were stupid.
I
Which
didn't
one
do
was it?
I had 3 baseball buddies over one evening.
That's stupid.
And later today,
Did you ever hear the expression, no good deed goes unpunished?
Yes.
That's what happened. They are two amoral people.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lee Hill says ex-boyfriend James Johnston was negligent while taking care of her 21 cats. James says the whole ordeal was a nightmare.
There was some flooding that's talked about. And in your answer, Mr. Johnston, you say, I was running a bath, but ended up getting very distracted by the precise feeding procedure I was to follow. The next thing I knew...
It was a book.
There was water all over the place.
You know how long it takes to feed 21 cats?
Just a minute. I'm asking
like
a question.
5 hours.
Just a second. What were you doing? Mr. Johnson, who were you bathing?
Me. I was getting ready to... I got there about 9:30 at night. I had worked all day. It was
Just a
hot.
minute. So you were staying at her house?
Yeah. We were basically living together. Unofficially.
Just a second. Unofficially. I don't care. I just didn't know
there
why you were running a bath when you were supposed to be feeding the cats. So you were living there.
I'm walking around naked, got the water going. I'm getting things ready.
I understand. So he was living in your house?
Yes.
All right. He was living in your house, and you had the keys to your car.
No, I never gave him the keys to my car.
Well, you must have left him home.
On the dresser.
No,
You mean he hot-wired your car?
No. When I came back, this person went through everything in my house.
That's not true.
And the key which was in a drawer. The reason I didn't say to him you could drive the car is because he doesn't have a good driving record. My insurance doesn't cover him. And it would be better not to go into that, make a mess out of that. I don't give him the key, he can't drive the car.
All right. Miss Hill, I think Mr. Johnson had the obligation, once he assumed the responsibility, to perform it properly. And if he could not, which he realized right away, according to him,
The third day.
he had the obligation to tell you when he spoke to you, day one, listen, you better get somebody else here to take care of your cats because I can't do it. And he chose not to do that.
Yeah.
Now I'll see your vet bills.
Okay.
How many cats do you have now?
I have 18.
What are cats?
I have a few other questions or statements to make.
Go ahead.
If you do want to take care of them, I don't know how this is good taking care of a cat. I have part of the other part of that broom with cat fur on it. I don't understand how that is good taking care of anything well. Running the bath that runs over, that floods the clothes, ruins the clothes, ruins shoes. I have some boots here that were ruined that were in the closet on the floor. I also have a box of photographs, just like my family when I was younger. It was in a big box, like a boot box, in a closet. I came back, and I kept finding things for months I've been finding things. And I find a wet bath towel that was put in the box, closed in the box, and put in the closet. I don't understand why this was done. This has nothing to do with the cats. This to me is malicious. I don't know why he did it, but he did it.
Maybe he's just stupid.
That's not what well, for taking
Just a second. Just a second. Either you did it on purpose or you did it because you were stupid.
I
Which
didn't
one
do
was
it.
it?
I had 3 baseball buddies over one evening.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I got out of hand.
So either you did it on purpose or you did it because it was stupid. It was stupid. If you had 3 baseball buddies and one of them acted like an idiot, that's your fault.
2 of them did.
I also requested that nobody come to the house for the simple reason that there are a lot of cats. And the more people that are there, the more doors are left open, the more chaos there can be. So
Nobody believed me about the amount of cats. I had to show them.
I also have estimates for the carpeting.
I'm not considering that. You left him in your house. He was living with you. That's your problem. You picked somebody who's unreliable. That's your problem. Vet bills are something else because this was a separate and unique thing. He said he would take care of your cats. That was your arrangement with him.
Yes.
If he couldn't do that, he had a responsibility, and the responsibility was either to board them or call her and say, get on a plane to come home.
There was one other option available that I wish I had taken.
Which was?
Her mother. She was a phone call away. She called me every day to make sure everything was okay.
Well, then you could have done that too, but she shouldn't have any out-of-pocket expenses because of your negligence in taking care of the cats. That was your agreement with her. And you have to take care of it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,389. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The cat's tail got hurt because it was in a fight, and I yanked it out.
Then later on he said he accidentally electrocuted it.
I did what I could under the circumstances.
He's got was it a medical valor or a Purple Heart? I can't remember which. So, I mean, I don't believe it.
If you need to make a promise, make sure you can do it.
I had to lock